evening, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday night Mohawk stream of Old World. Tonight is going to be a continuation of a tournament game, Rincewind versus Marauder, Axum versus Carthage. So we're on turn 49 already, but we've got a couple of duelists battling it out to stay in the tournament match. This is an elimination match, so whoever loses this will be out. Whoever wins, I believe, goes on to face me next. So that's exciting times. I'm Fluffy Bunny, by the way, and yes, we'll see how we go. So it looks like we're doing first turn without timer, and yeah, I'll just make a announcement that we are live, and then we'll perhaps do a quick recap. Let's see what's happening in the game. Trend v Marauder live now. Okie dokie. So, how are we doing then? So, quick recap of the game. So, Carthage has 10 cities, including 1 strong. Axum has 7, also including 1 strong. Carthage is blobbed out. I think this is the centre of the map here. So, this is a ultra-wide dual coastal rain basin, so 72 width, 36 is the middle. Yes, this is the middle point here. So Carthage has grabbed the middle and a city over to the side of Axum as well, so that's quite good for Carthage. Marauder is taking up space on the map. Yeah, so Scientific will be joining me shortly, but he is not quite ready yet. So he'll be hopping on to co-cast this game with me. And yeah, we're very much still in the setup phase. So as I was saying, yes, Carthage has blobbed out over the map. We saw a little bit of conflict in the first part here. We've had a little bit of a scrap to take possession of this city site and of... they fighting? I don't think they were fighting over this one, but yeah, mainly for Corrales. Axum did manage to kill quite a few of Carthage's tribal units here in the woods, and then started getting some slingers bombarding Corrales, but Carthage managed to fight them off. They killed 2 or 3 of Axum's slingers, and yeah, they're just getting set up now. They've got a onager here, so that's going to be quite hard to push into. They've got an African elephant, which is backing off. Interesting. Looks like he's coming down here to deal with raiders. Got Thracian raider bombs. So yeah, Carthage is clearing the Thracian camp down here. He's still got a barbarian camp way in his back line, which is slightly unfortunate, but at least it's not a tribe, so they won't be raiding him. Let's see what else we got. We've got a Gaul camp down here on the Axumite side. And that's it. So we're mostly cleared. Yeah, there's 1 Gaul camp, 1 Thracian camp. That is the only tribe left in the game. Let's see, ambition-wise, we are on Carthage at the moment. They've got 3 ambitions completed. They want to promote units 10 times. 4 out of the 10 done. That should be pretty easy to do with their training. As far as Axum goes, they have only 2 ambitions done. They want to kill 5 ghouls, which unfortunately it doesn't look like they're going to do. There's only 2 down here, and they're not really in a position to do that in 2 years, so they're going to fail this ambition, sadly. Maintain full governors should be very easy to do, but having said that, I did notice both Carthage and Axum are on 5 laws at the moment, but if we switch back to Axum again for the moment, Carthage only has the tech for 5 laws, whereas Axum has the tech for 7 laws. So as soon as he gets to 800 civics, he can adopt his 7 laws, get a citadel out, and start building his 2nd level unique unit. He does have a judge on the throne, so he can upgrade the stronghold to a citadel in 1 turn and immediately start building them in his 1 strong city. Sadly, his printer city is not strong. It's 32 years away from being strong, so it's going to be a while before he can really print out the Shotalai units. But he is working on that. He's building a theatre now in to make printers. So he's identified that he needs more culture there. Economy-wise, let's have a look at some graphs. Let's switch back to Carthage so we're seeing what's going on. Yeah, economy-wise, we've got looks like Carthage has been in the lead for most of the game, but has dropped down recently, presumably after a leader death. So Axum is in the lead for science at the moment, but they are still 600 science behind in terms of invested science, so it's going to take a little while for them to catch that gap up. Military score, Carthage has got a decent lead. They both took a little dip here with they were fighting over Corrales, but yeah, Carthage is still noticeably stronger. Econ-wise, Carthage is, let's come back up to the top, Carthage is a lot richer, it's fair enough, they've got decent reserves, decent income. Rincewind's a little bit low on stone by the look of it, and on food. Price-wise, yeah, food's quite expensive than stone. No one's really been using a lot of wood so far. So we're seeing some advances from Carthage here. He's got his onager moved up and unlimbered in range to attack this bireme that's been anchored up here. So that's going to be painful for Axum. He's going to have to back that bireme off. Unfortunately for him. And yeah, Carthage is looking in a very strong position to onager push along this this coastline here, I think, and there's not an awful lot Axum can do about it. I don't think Axum has actually got any cavalry. Let's have a look. No, so we've got 5 slingers, 3 Demets and an axe, and a bireme. That's all we've got in Axum. So yeah, no way to easily take this onager out. The Demets not going to be massively useful if they can't actually get to that onager to disarm it. So that is going to be a problem. I mean, it depends, of course, what the players want to do. Yeah, Axum certainly isn't in a position to attack and push forwards, but Carthage may decide they want to. It was, probably want to get a few more onagers up to get a nice death wall rolling, but certainly a possibility. Let's see what else is going on down here. Yeah, so we are going to have to deal with these raiders first before we can focus all the attention on the front line, so I imagine that's what they're going to do next. I wonder if they'll ever clear this barbarian camp or if they're content just to leave this as is. Looks like this elephant might be coming back here, so I imagine they are going to clear this camp and clear this camp, and yeah, maybe even try and contest this Gaul camp. They're the only unsettled sites left, plus this one they have just cleared here. Settler-wise, have they got any settlers? They've got 1 settler out already in Tingis, and no more on the way. So yeah, going to be a little while before they can settle a lot. But yeah, I imagine that's where Carthage's focus is at the moment. Let's see, 4 orders left. Thracians have been eliminated, right? That was the camp they just cleared. So yes, when I was saying there's only the Thracians and Gauls left, now there's only the Gauls. So we're not going to be seeing any more units, tribal units hired for Carthage, I would imagine. Possibly they could grab a couple of Gauls, but they are at war, so it's going to be very expensive. Not that necessarily a problem. They have a huge amount of money, huge income here. Yeah, mainly from these trader cities, just raking in the cash. And yeah, resource stockpiles looking very healthy. What is the order situation like? Just switch back to Carthage for a second. 24 orders to 23, so very similar there. The economy is not looking quite so good for Axum. It's not bad. They've got quite positive money income, not too much food, and a little bit low on stone. Decent iron. But yeah, definitely not quite as soaring as Carthage's is. That's interesting. It doesn't look like Axum can actually see this onager here. So he may very well not realise that he's about to get his ship attacked. Of course, whether that actually means very much, if he just does 7 damage, he might be able to get enough damage here to clear this up, but I doubt it. So probably he'll just take an attack and then and then leave it, or it might be interesting, to be honest, if Carthage waits to get another onager up and then does a double attack, and maybe get some more ranged units up here. But yeah, so what is Axum up to at the moment? So they have adopted Constitution, so they've got their 6th law up. That's getting them another 6.3 science a turn, so that's going to extend their current tech rate lead at the moment. That's going to be quite nice for them. That's going to help them catch up more. We've got Slinger, Scout, Council, Festival, and a few idle cities. Why is a duelist building a festival? That's an interesting question. Is he wanting to build poets, maybe? Trying to race to legendary? He is only 31 turns to legendary in the duelist. So if he can get there, then there are some nice legendary wonders on this map. We've got the Heliopolis. It's probably the main one there, but yeah, all of these all white as well, certainly. It'd be nice to see the Mausoleum up if they are culture racing, but Axum can't really afford it at the moment, whereas Carthage certainly can. So yeah, interesting to see what happens there. So it looks like we're advancing Demetz forwards. What's this ping say? Tutor. Reminder to tutor his kids. He's got a 15-year-old commander tactics student son, and we are currently a 42-year-old frugal, vigilant, intelligent judge, which is quite nice. So it'd be quite nice to see the judge holding court to get some more civics here. It would certainly help them, although they don't necessarily need it immediately for their laws here. So he's got quite a healthy civics income as is. Not really using his civics to build very much at the moment, apart from this festival. Yeah, mainly focusing on military and growth units here. Another scout coming out in 6 years. That's interesting. It's quite a long scout build. It's already spent a couple of years on this scout build. 6 years left. So I guess he's got a scout, which is kind of fairly deep into, I say fairly deep, but somewhat deep into Carthage's land. Carthage does have a huge amount of territory here. Carthaginian scout there about to get exposed. So yeah, another scout definitely does not hurt at all. Right, okie dokie, sounds like Scientific is ready, so let's give him a call and we'll get him on the chat as well. If I can find Scientific, there he is. There we go. Hello, 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 can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. I can hear you as well. Hopefully the stream can too. Please do let us know, stream, if the audio sounds all right and if, you know, the noise level is balanced and you can actually hear Scientific. But yeah, welcome. How are you doing this evening or afternoon where you are, I suppose?
I'm doing fantastic. Exciting to be catching another game of Old World. I'm scoping out the competition here, as whoever wins this match will be my next opponent. So that's always exciting.
Your opponent. Okay, I got confused. I thought it was me for a second there. Okay, fair enough. Well, indeed, yes. Good to know who you were fighting against, certainly. Sounds all right, says Beck. Thank you very much. Right, so it looks like Carthage did take that onager attack against the Byreme here. So they're not trying to be subtle. It doesn't look like they're going to try and take a kill. They're just forcing him to back off there. We are tidying up some raiders here. So yeah, I was just saying the Carthaginians have just taken out the Frisian camp down here. They've got a barbarian camp right in the back line here. And then other than the Gaulish site, which potentially either side could contest, I suppose, that's pretty much it for sites.
It seems like there's a bit of clawing back that Axum is going to have to do here, because that's 10 sites currently. That would be 11. It doesn't. I suspect Axum probably not going to be able to get this Gaul site without Carthage giving them trouble for it. So that would be 12 cities in total if it comes to it, to Axum's 7. Interesting.
Yeah, because I think Carthage are on 10 cities already at the moment. So yeah, if they get the Gaul site and this cleared city site and the barbarian site, potentially they could even be up to 13 cities against 8, which is quite a difference. Not necessarily the deciding factor, but it will definitely help Carthage.
As I understand it, our friends got into a little bit of a scrap a few turns ago, probably around turn 45. Looks like what it says for the power graph. Both took some heavy losses, probably more losses for Axum, since I suspect some of the losses for Carthage were barbarian units or tribal
Yeah,
units.
that's right. So I was just catching up on the last session. So basically, they had a scrap below Corrales before it was settled. Axum advanced into the woods here and killed quite a few tribal units, non-upgraded ones. So they got quite a few kills, but not massively damaging. And they forced Carthage to back off. Carthage did manage to settle Corrales. And then Axum moved some slingers up to start harassing Corrales, but Carthage managed to convincingly persuade them to go away, killed a couple of slingers, and yeah, this is pretty much where they're at the moment. So yeah, Axum has got this ship out. I don't believe Carthage does have any ships out at the moment, but they do have very good coastal movement. They've connected a huge amount of their top coastline up here. Carthage certainly were in colonies. Looks like they've switched now to serfdom. But yeah, huge. It's a very interesting map actually. We've got these volcanoes in the sea, two volcanoes. So this middle section here is completely split off, and you can't get ship movement all the way along. But
Yeah, it's really cool. I like that. I think it creates an interesting arena. I
it's
also like
certainly
that
different.
both players. What? Yeah, I like that both players are using coastal movement. Axum currently relying on a ship, but still both recognizing that having a coastal highway, even on a coastal rain basin map, can be quite handy.
Yep, it's not bad movement at all for both. Yeah, Carthage does have an advantage, obviously being in the centre here, but yeah, that's going to be massively helpful for Carthage because they're just so far into the map. They're way over onto Axum's side, so they really need that movement a lot more than Axum does, but certainly helpful for both sides. So we've got an immediate 7th floor up, an immediate upgrade into a citadel, and 2
Mm-hmm.
Chotelais on the map already. That's quite
Love to
nice to
see it.
see.
Yep, love to see
We've
it.
got another 2 Demets who potentially could be upgraded, but it looks like he's out of training at the moment. But yeah, I imagine that's not going to be too far behind. Unfortunately, the champion city is still, 30 turns away from being strong, but we do have a theatre coming up next turn, which will help with that. So Adulis is the only place he can build Chotelai at the moment, which is going to be, I imagine, a little bit painful with 9.7 training. Yeah, 17 years is not really what you want.
Yeah, so what we'd probably want to see here is we have a lot of worker. We have every worker building stuff, but only one building on mine. So hopefully, when all these productions finish, I'm looking at shrines and stuff. Maybe we swap to like a mass mine spam for the next, couple builds and get that iron online. Because I just looked at the cost of upgrading one of these things, and it's $1,200. So you
Yikes.
don't want to have to rely on gold. I mean, we have good old gold income. We can upgrade one or buy one outright every few turns. So I mean, not the end of the world, but you don't want to rely on that.
Yeah, Axum's income is okay. It's not brilliant. He's got positive at least in all the resources, but yes, he could definitely do with more iron, but then he could also do with more stone and more food. If you
Yeah, it does look
compare
like Carthage has a strong economy.
yeah, if you compare that to Carthage, where they're earning 850 money a turn, they've got 100 food a turn with 1,000 stockpiled, and that being the most expensive resource. 136 stone coming in a turn. Even got some wood coming in it now. If they must have, yeah, they've got forestry. They're taking composite bow now. Yeah. So yeah, Carthage is looking in quite a strong position here. I'd say Axum has got their work cut out for them. Obviously, having 8 strength units on the map when Carthage does not is quite an advantage for them. Carthage still only on 5 laws, so it's going to be quite a while. And taking comp bows, so it's going to be quite a while before Carthage can get an 8 strength unit on the map. But the question is a couple of Chotelithe enough to push into this? Possibly so
Yeah,
with only one onager. I think as soon as Carthage gets a death ball of 3 or 4 onagers up, it's going to be a lot harder.
yeah, that's the trick, right? It's like once your opponent has onagers, the complexity of attacking into them becomes infinitely harder. It's just so difficult to deal with siege if you don't have your own siege. I feel like siege on these hills would be a net advantage for Axum because everything in Carolus is flatland. So if you could start creeping with your own onagers. We just don't have them yet.
That's very true. That would be very nice, yeah, because you've got the hills next to the seaside, and then you've got the hills in the forest as well. Both good places to stage ranged units in, and yeah, it'd be very
Yeah.
hard to deal with, certainly, especially those forested hills, because then Carthage, even the onagers, aren't really doing very much. You know, if it comes down to an onager fight, I don't know if Axum is anywhere near machine really. Let's just have a look. They are taking combo as well, so they're both taking combo. Axum does have machinery targeted. They've got sovereignty,
They
so
do, yeah.
yeah, not too far away potentially. And Axum
Yeah,
have a science income lead now. They've got 67 to 43, despite still being quite a long way behind Carthage in terms of invested tech.
yeah, they had that. They added an intelligent schemer for the first 45 turns, so that definitely got them a lead. But it is nice to see that there's a dip there because I think that also kind of indicates that Axum isn't fully out, even despite the advantages we see. I think there's a path, forward for them to catch up a little bit, and I definitely think having 8 strength units at this time will be helpful because even with this onager creep that we're seeing happening right side of Carolus, probably a little bit too early for that, but I dig it. It's going to keep forcing the boat to back off. I think once he starts seeing some Shotalai, he might realize he should probably play it safer.
Yeah, it's definitely seems a little bit risky with certainly with what we can see here. Yeah, I mean to be honest, I'm not quite sure why Rincewind backed off the Byron one tile just to get out of onager range and re-anchored, but he is just going to have to back it off. I mean,
I think.
maybe that's the play though, right? Bait the onager out into the open, get him creeping forward one
I mean,
tile a turn until you're ready.
wow, if that's an intentional bait to get the onager to move forward, I kind of love that. I'm more inclined to think that maybe he would think by backing off one tile, he'd actually get away with being able to hang out there. Um, but yeah, no, that's interesting because I guess if it opens up the onager to an attack. In fact, what else do we need in Axum? We don't have. Oh, unfortunately, we don't have iron working classic Axum
Easy
trap.
to miss, yes. So of course that also means they don't have husbandry or spoked wheel, so
Yeah, we
no
could.
cavalry whatsoever,
Yeah, we
unfortunately.
could use a couple of those, especially because I think those will combo well with our Shotalai. You can really take a couple of good whacks on some things, weaken them up, and then ride in with a nice route.
Yeah, that would certainly be nice. I'd like to see some more ranged units as well. Axum did have some more slingers, but yeah, like I said, a few of them got killed. But yeah, we definitely want to see some
Yeah.
more. We're getting one more slinger out of Exmara. Yeah, in fact, we're getting quite a few more slingers out. And then, excuse me.
Yeah, we're going for compo, so I suspect we will see this. I feel like, you know, even though this nation only came out like this year, I think, right? Was it this year or last year? I can't remember.
It was this year, yes, earlier this year, March, I think.
Yeah. Already feels like a classic combo to combine your unique unit with a ranged cadre because they really combos nicely to be able to attack one unit that has the 20% malice. It's basically like one thing. I feel like Shotalais are difficult to use. I feel like it's a tricky unit, but conceptually they're like a fantastic unit because we've talked about like sentinel slingers being super strong and annoying to deal with, right? I mean, technically, anytime a Shotalai hits something, all slingers nearby effectively just become sentinel slingers on the offense.
Yeah, for
Actually,
sure, it's
and
really
on
nice.
defense, really. Yeah, because if the thing survives, which is typically not the goal, but if the thing survives, it's still going to have a 20% offensive penalty as well.
Yeah, definitely helps to focus down units. Although to be fair, when you've got Shotalai, you don't need a lot of focusing. You're doing like 15 damage to a warrior, 12 to an axe. So yeah, these frontline units could die very quickly. To be honest, if I kind of actually I don't hate this creeping of anchoring because if this onager if these units keep moving forward, then at some point Axum is going to move in and just brutalize them surely.
I think I'm on your side on this now. I think this one tile shift might be a bait because every time he anchors, right? Look at where the Shotalais are back back in the back here. If this keeps moving up one tile in anchor range, I mean, one onager is not going to be able to kill these things, I don't think.
No,
Let's
not at
see.
all.
So you're definitely be able to wipe out probably a warrior and an axe, and I mean, with enough stuff nearby, maybe you do take out the onager as well, and that gets you 3 kills on an alpha strike that your opponent thinks. Meanwhile, on your opponent's end, on Marauder's end, he's thinking, "Oh man, yeah, I'm forcing this ship back where it belongs." He thinks he's probably doing something good here, but he could be walking into a trap.
So Axum has to switch to monotheism. They were in polytheism for a while, and they're built a few shrines. Got a few more still in progress, but yeah, they've gone to monotheism. So yeah, getting the orders. How many orders is he getting from monotheism? So it's another 5 orders a year. Yeah, so that suggests to me, yeah, look, there's units moving up. I think he's going to go in next turn, especially
This is
if
beautiful.
the
This is
Carthage
beautiful.
units move up.
This is beautiful. Fantastic. Love to see this. And do we have enough money? No, we don't have enough economy at all to upgrade this last Demit, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so we definitely need mines online. I think for our archers as Axum, we should probably think about going on a shopping spree, maybe down in these southern hills here. We can, harvest the north with lumber mills and then just clear this southern mountainside by the Tiber River.
Yeah, it does make some sense. There aren't a huge amount of trees in territory, so long-term wood production is not going to be amazing. You've got certainly none of the forest in the north has got a river next to it at all, so you've got very few tiles that are going to be massively productive for wood. So yeah, I don't think he wants to clear cut anything in the north, but as you say, the south is probably fair game. He's got his sunshines set up, ready to go for the training when he does get his lumber mills online.
This is fantastic. I'm excited for. Now I'm rooting for Marauder deciding to move up one more tile because I really think he's just going to be in for a surprise. Yeah, and this is what's so great about the Demits too, right? Because we can see that they come in and they, this is just enough damage to pretty much make sure a slinger can kill that warrior, right? But then let's look at a regular slinger. Is that enough? Okay, so yeah, so this is the best part. So if we take the Demit and look at the Demit with the hero at least, and make him look at the axe, he's gonna leave it with 6 damage left, and a slinger would only do 4, right? But I'm pretty sure, or 5, but I'm pretty sure with disarm that would be enough for the slinger to go in for the kill, and that's my favorite thing about the ranged combo with Demit warriors is that they changed the math enough that it saves orders, right? I guess when you think of it that way.
Yes, yeah, indeed. And don't forget, he's got a Demit and quite a few slingers down at Matara as well. So he's got 2 directions he can attack from. I think he can pull off a reasonably convincing attack, especially as Carthage is kind of out of position with their elephants. Have moved backwards. Yeah, it looks like he is moving down to the barbarian camp right in the bottom corner to clear that. So not a terrible idea, but yeah, it's awkward to do timing wise because it means you don't have your units where you really want them. We've got another onager moving up, but that's a couple of turns away at least from being of any use whatsoever. We do have a raid coming into Rincewind's territory from the Gauls, which is a little bit irritating for him.
And he doesn't appear to be prioritizing his unique unit because he's getting combo now, which is not a bad pick at all. You're going to get your archers, you're going to get your free ballistas, so nothing wrong with that pick at all. But in this same hand for Carthage is monasticism, so it seems like he's pretty comfy to be sitting at, 5 laws? Yeah, 5 laws for now, but he's going to have to get monasticism and then either into doctrine or get citizenship or architecture to hit the full 7, so he's going to be quite a ways away from an 8 strength unit, which could be a massive benefit.
Monasticism does seem like it would be great, right, for coverage right now. I mean, even if you ignore the law, timing aspect of it, just getting monotheism up. It's going to be 10 more orders for
Well,
Carthage.
yeah, I'm looking at
That's
the now. I just when you
huge.
mentioned that, yeah, there's the Zorro is in every city. That would be very strong grab here. In fact, I haven't checked the order graph between our players yet. They're pretty much neck and neck, plus or minus worker turns at the moment. So, yeah, that would be a really great grab in general.
Yeah,
So
no, I think that would be better than combat, especially when you've got onagers. Unless you're planning to go for an attack, I would, as Carthage, I'd be settling back, defending Corrales, and just chilling and developing the economy.
yeah, I agree. Especially because the other thing is, it's like one of those tricky things about this game. It's like it never you never know when you're going to get it right? Where the idea of like, well, do I press an advantage or do I just hang back, develop, and keep my advantage? Um, and it's interesting because I finally got around to rewatching some of my game with Aaron, and I remember my second half of that game was largely a build-up thing, and I knew I still had some advantages or whatever, but there was a moment in the match where he got land consolidation, and I was just behind him. I was like 5 or so turns behind him, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh no!" Even though I'm like, I don't know, I had advantages on him at the time. I was like, "Oh no, his science is definitely higher than mine." But it wasn't. It was like another 50 or some odd turns until his science actually leapfrogged mine in terms of science rate. And so it can be tricky to get a sense of whether you're hanging back and developing further is just creating a window for your opponent to surpass you or not. I still haven't quite figured that out myself in terms of reading the map and getting a sense of, am I ahead enough to attack and press advantage and just give it everything I have, or am I ahead in a way that I should just keep building myself up and make the advantage so insurmountable that there's basically zero chance of failure when I do attack?
Yeah, definitely a tricky act to balance. So interestingly, Carthage elected not to move up, so the onager stayed where he is. I think that's sensible on Carthage's part. So Axum now has a choice about whether he wants to move in or not. He can still come in and
Yeah.
kill a couple of units quite easily, but
Yep.
does Axum want to? Is the question. Of course, Axum doesn't have great vision on what Carthage has in the back line. He has one scout back here under Salday. He is building another scout in Zula that's 3 turns away. But yeah, Axum Rincewind has very little idea of what Marauder has. He could have a load of African elephants and about to leap out of the fog, so I would probably be a little bit cautious if I was Axum. But of
I suppose it
course,
would depend, since this session just began. I don't know when the scout back here moved. I suppose it would depend. Like, if it moved this round, I think he could know that there might not be enough elephants. But if it's been back here from the start, then I think it could depend on his memory of the end of the last session, because I feel like with the position of the scout, for the most part, you'd see any elephants walking by.
maybe if you were paying attention, yes, but of course it's
Yeah,
tricky to always get
of
that.
course.
And yes,
It's
this
tricky.
I'm pretty sure the scout hasn't moved this session. It's just
Ah,
been
okay,
sort of
yeah.
sat there.
Interesting that both players actually are on composite bow right now. I think that I always think it's fun that players pick different tech paths and they go different routes, but then sometimes certain timings work out to be the exact same, even if they came there from completely different directions. Not that I think compo is a specifically important timing in this case, but it just amuses me that one has 7 laws while the other doesn't. One has onagers while the other doesn't, and now both at the same time are unlocking compo.
Yeah, for sure. That's a nice tech to have. I'm thinking Actum isn't going in this turn. I'm thinking they're going to wait for these raiders and build up a little bit more. The champion seat is still spamming Ultimate Warriors, which is using up all his iron income, so he's not going to be able to upgrade any of them to Shotlai anytime soon.
I mean, when you're this close, it looks like, oh, are we going on a shopping spree? Because we just got some lumber here. I think as Axum, when you're this close to archers and you
Oh,
have your 8th strength unit, you might as well just wait, do a little bit of a mass upgrade. We need more training for that to happen, though. But upgrade as much as you can and then go in if you're going to go in at all.
Yeah, so Axum is clear chopping in the north. They've just got rid of a few of their forest tiles there. I'm not sure I love that. But they are getting ready for a combo, so yeah, I guess at this point, actually, that's a good point. They're 2 turns away from combo. They probably do want to upgrade into archers before they go in at this point.
Yeah, I would. There's the worker down here in Agazi building a granary. I would, if we're really thinking an archer timing here, I'd like to see him just jump into these woods and clear chop them all.
Well, maybe he will do that once the granary finishes. But yeah, he's certainly spending wood on that. I mean, he needs food as well. Can't neglect everything just to go for a push, which might not finish the game.
6,000 gold in Carthage with 1,000 per turn. That is just amazing,
wild, isn't it? Just thinking, wonder-wise, we've got 3 turns left on the Jebel Bakal for Marauder, but yeah, he could easily afford probably 2 more wonders.
You know what will help that? There's what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pearl site in the center of the map.
Yes.
Going to Carthage. Man, Axum would really like to acquire that at some point.
Yeah, and we've got I guess these are all fish mostly, but yeah, we've got a 5 fish and crab site on the traders at the backside as well. Very nice.
337 gold coming from that central site. That's wild.
Yeah, and for Vest is making 109 food and 32 growth.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. Traders, man, they're so powerful, even on the coastal rain basin.
Yeah, well, there's hardly any sea, but enough to make it worth it.
Yeah, all it takes is just 1 or 2 good sites, and it really pulls its weight.
Oh, we have started another wonder in Carthage. He's obviously heard me, and he's going for the Ishtar Gate, which is, I imagine, going to be quite pleasant. We'll get quite a few culture level ups from that.
That's very bad news for our Axumite friends, but certainly amazing for Carthage.
So they have just spent all their stone on that, but they still have 5.5 grand. So I imagine, yeah, they probably could just get the Ziggurat up, Jerwin maybe. Some nice wonders on the table there. Pretty nice Jerwin site in Cartena next to that volcano with some lush tiles around. Alcrast, just tuning in now. If there's a free moment, would appreciate a recap. Alright, let's do a recap then. So we have Carthage versus Axum on a dual ultra-wide coastal rain basin map. I don't know if you've seen the first part, so I'm just going to recap the whole match for you. So Carthage has blobbed out massively. This is the centre line here. They've expanded onto Axum's side. There's been a little bit of skirmishing in the forests around here, but Axum have had to back off. Carthage have got onagers now and are pushing forwards, but Axum have Shotelai. They have their 7 lures up. They have 2 Shotelai up and several Demets, although unfortunately they've got some econ issues, so they're not able to upgrade them all, and their champion seat is not still 20 turns away from being strong, so it's a bit unfortunate for them. Both nations taking to combo, getting that very shortly. Carthage is on 5 lures. A long way away from their 2nd level unit. Science-wise, Axum has a decent advantage in terms of science per turn income, but Carthage, I believe, is still beating them quite heavily on actual amount of science invested. We've got 2,300 to 1,800. Rincewind is catching up, but yeah, a little way to go yet. Mill score, I believe Carthage is still ahead, but Axum is catching up quite nicely with those Demets and Shotelais coming out. We've got a Barium anchored up in the north here, so yeah, we're just speculating on if and when Axum is going to come in and attack these Carthaginian units here, because I think they can get quite a nice first strike up here, but they do have raiders to deal with, and they are probably waiting for combo as well, which is 1 turn away.
I think the nice thing for Axum in this moment is with that death of the schemer, the intelligent schemer, and the equalization or the recalibration of the science rates, is that he's only about 500 science behind his opponent. And I'm looking across the Empire of Carthage right now, and I mean, this still isn't good news because your opponent's building a shitload of military, but all of the build queues that are currently occupied are building a military unit. We do have a disciple coming all in the way, and there are some empty queues left. But it kind of tells me that not a lot is happening in the way. Oh my god, the Jebel! I'm just catching that. That's going to be disgusting.
Yes, of course,
Not a
because
lot
all 10
happening in terms
cities
of
have the religion. So, yeah, 10 temples.
yeah, not a lot happening in the sense of further investing in science for Carthage at the moment. So, if Axum can stay ahead and withstand, some attacks if they come, he could maybe, press an advantage of tech. Certainly would be tricky against an empire this size, I think. Especially, I didn't catch the Jebel when I first loaded in, but that's going to be a lot of orders.
Yes, that's what, another 5 orders straight off the bat. And yeah, if and when he gets monasticism, that's another 10 orders from monasticism.
Yeah, crazy.
Monasticism? That's not the right. Monotheism is what I meant to say there. Yeah. So yeah, Carthage is going to have a big order advantage soon, most likely. They're fairly even at the moment. What theologies we are asking? So we just have veneration at the moment. So spread chants and minus rebels and a little bit of money from monasteries, but we don't have monasticism on Carthage's side yet, so that's not doing much for them. And yeah, Axum just has their pagan religion, which is their state religion. No world religions, no Judaism at all in 1054. I guess, of course, Axum doesn't even have husbandry yet, so they can't get ranchers. And Carthage probably doesn't really want Judaism.
Which is interesting, because I think they have... Oh, no, they don't have monasticism yet. Yeah, so I guess they don't care. It's interesting to me that... Well, not interesting. One thing I like, too, about this swap back to monotheism for Axum is that he did that while all of his shrines in his cities were currently in progress, because he has 7 cities. When he swapped, he was getting 5 orders, and then it just went up to 6, and I just noticed in Matara over here, there is a shrine being finished, so I really like that he kind of just went around, put one shrine in each city, and then swapped to get it over with.
Yeah, it's quite a nice play, certainly. Just looking at the promotion just going on the Shotlai here, he's given it the engineer promotion, so he's certainly thinking about wanting to get rid of those onagers. Let's see how much damage this guy would do to an unlimited onager now. 14 damage.
Ooh, nice.
Onager.
That's awesome, that's clever.
Dead quick.
That's clever. I feel like that's probably a little underutilized.
Yes, 7 versus 10 cities indeed, and Carthage is about to clear a site here, has a free site here, so Carthage can get at least 2 more, and then the only remaining uncontested site here at the moment is this Gaul site, which neither team look particularly interested in going for at the moment. So quite possibly we will settle on 7 versus 12 cities. Quite an advantage for Carthage indeed.
Carthage has 5 laws of Alcaris. He has monasticism in his hand now, but he opted for combo. And of course, he's Carthage, so he has no clerics tricks, so he's going to have to get monasticism and then rely on either doctrine, which honestly could be a great grab with this Jebel situation, or get up to citizenship or architecture, of which he does not have phalanx or drama yet. So he's a ways away from 7 laws himself.
Indeed. It looks like Carthage is coming up. He's reinforcing. He's got an African elephant and another onager is going to reach Keralis soon. So I think Axum's window of a nice attack where he can leap in, do some damage, and not really get punished for it is closing there, to be honest.
I agree. I mean, I don't know how definitive of a strike this could be. And again, I think it does sensibly make sense to wait for archers. Again, we're 1 turn away. But there's a huge difference between attacking into 2 onagers than 1 onager. So it would be really nice if he could just come up and delete these 3 units and keep Carthage down to 1 onager at a time. That would be lovely, but I feel like he's not going to pull that trigger until he has archers.
Yeah, which I mean, it makes sense, and it might actually be interesting because once Carthage gets their second onager, maybe they'll feel a bit more comfortable to start pushing forwards,
Oh, that would be awesome.
which could give Axum the advantage again.
Yeah, I feel like that if they get successfully baited into coming down this pass, although I guess once they hit the volcano that'll be a little bit tricky, right, for Axum to maneuver through. But yeah, I think if they move a couple tiles forward, that could be really nice for Axum, even if there is a second onager. I think just the main thing is with two onagers, you want to make sure you can kill at least one of them because you really don't want to get double whacked with two onagers, even if you do have 8 strength units.
Yep, I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm pretty confident Axum could immediately delete at least one onager when they move in.
Yeah.
So I imagine they would, even with two onagers, they'd only actually be getting attacked by one. But even so, yeah. Second one coming up, there's another onager popping out in Fenay in 4 turns, Salday in 6 turns. Let's see, we've got an Axeman, 2 Axemen, and an African Elephant coming out of the other cities, plus a little bit of economic development, building some more quarries, interestingly. Carthage had decided they don't have enough stone.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
Yeah.
We did see some clear shopping down here, which is what I wanted and would have expected. But honestly, I'm surprised that these two guys down here, the two workers, are building quarries and not more mines. We definitely need more stone, to be clear. But I feel like if we're thinking that we're going to keep throwing some Shotalais at our opponents and press it at advantage, then you're going to want marble. You're going to want metal, right?
Yes, yeah, iron would be. I mean, it's getting better. We're up to 79 a turn. I do wonder if Rincewind is thinking about legendary wonders. So his Shotel Hotel, love the naming, is 26 turns away from legendary now, as opposed to Carthage. Let's have a quick look at there. Carthage is 86 turns away from legendary. So it does look like Axum might be pushing towards a legendary city. We've got the Heliopolis is available, which would be, I mean, I guess it would be nice for Carthage, but it would certainly wouldn't
That's
hurt
amazing.
to equalise the orders. What's amazing?
Amazing. Yeah, no, we'll definitely win that race. 25 turns versus, what did you say, 86? Although, no, we can reassess once these two wonders get built, because the Jebel will add a temple, and the Ishtar will add another 100 cultures. So this could probably go down to something like, wildly enough, this could probably go down to something as quick as like 40 turns once these wonders finish.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Alcaraz has asked for a grove count. The land consolidation is marked. There are quite a few here. We've got 2 citruses, which of course are now luxury resources as of yesterday's update, which is another extra little bonus. But yeah, 2 citruses, 3 lavenders, a wine, 6. Then we've got a honey for 7. So I think that's it. Yeah, 7. It's a decent amount. It's not ridiculous, but it's definitely worth having.
We are in the new citrus meta. Citrus is now a luxury.
Yes, indeed. Yes, citrus is a luxury, and yeah, Alcaraz points out the incense as well. Yeah, so there's actually 8. So yeah, Lancon would be a pretty decent pick. We're actually going for Polis at the moment. Why are we getting Polis? I guess he wants forestry. He wants to get some wood income.
Probably land consolidation.
Land consolidation, yes, but I guess. He does have it tagged. Yeah, of course. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So we have Phalanx, Metaphysics, Coinage, right? So none of those are high priority. So Polis is A, gets us closer to land consolidation, and then B will cycle us to free ballista, machinery, or civics boost, or of course ironworking, which we need if we want to get chariots at all, which we'll probably want them in the face of onagers.
Yep, seems like quite a reasonable play indeed. I'm just seeing someone on Discord saying getting error loading stream. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Right, I hear some clashing. What's happening here? He's dealing with these raiders quite efficiently. So they'll be dead quite soon. Not seeing. Are we seeing any archer upgrades? I haven't been tracking that. No. Oh, there we go. First archer
There they
upgrade
are.
happened.
They're going now.
He's
Yeah, they're
got
going now.
300
They-
odd woods. So he's out of training.
yeah,
Unfortunate.
his issue is training. Yeah.
Yes, that is unfortunate. He could definitely use some more training. I haven't seen any hold court missions going on, so hold court and rally troops alternating would definitely be helpful for him. Not quite sure.
Honestly, in this situation, I think players are. It's, Old World has so many different things that are hard to conceptualize until you finally find that moment where you're like, "Oh wow, this is really important." And for Axum, I think now would be the time to be rallying troops as much as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least you really don't lose anything from just running those rally troops and hold court. Alternating them, you just gain resources from.
Oh,
Of course, you
and he
get the
is.
odd event. He's doing it now, is he? Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, Axum is rallying troops, so that's awesome. Nice to, because it's one of those things that's like it's so obscure. You only need it when you need it. That means also when you need it, you can freaking forget that it's there.
Yes,
so that's nice to see a
very
player
easy to do.
remember that. That's a really good play there, rally troops.
What is rally troops locked behind? Is it steel or ironworking? Maybe it's locked behind some
Military drill.
military drill, right? Yeah.
Yeah, military drill. Yeah.
So they both had that for a while. So interesting. Carthage had the choice of drama, phalanx, goods boost, or hydraulics, and they're going for drama.
Wow. Okay, so we're going a little greedy. This looks like actually it's probably a cycle because that's the cheapest tech he has, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, makes sense. He doesn't have
Although
anything
goods
tagged.
boost. Hey, wait, what are we cycling for? We could get hydraulics or good boost. This seems like a mistake.
Unless he actually just wants drama. I mean, goods boost is more expensive than drama, but I mean, to be honest, why not hydraulics? I mean, ballistas would be amazing, especially against the Shotelai.
Yeah, that's like your hard counter right there. It doesn't matter if he has an 8th strength unit if you can just hurl ballistas at him.
Yeah, effective attack strength of 12.
Wow. Yeah, no, that really surprises me.
So I'm not sure what he's thinking
But,
there.
I mean, hey, good news for Axum. Good news for Axum.
Maybe he's trying to realise that he needs some more help getting to legendary culture, and is tracking on that now. Maybe a bit late if that's what he is thinking.
Yeah,
especially with the Ishtar as well. You know, you think all your cities are going to be developing. Do you really need drama at this point?
Yeah, drama is an interesting tech for me to conceptualize. As Greece, I love having it, right? But I mean, every now and then I tech it, but normally when I tech it more for the free settler than the actual stuff, and then I forget to build the Odeons and stuff because. I mean, with an empire of this, actually, he's not even going to need the culture because with an empire of this size, all you need is your cities to get developing, right? Just for rush potential, and he's got the Ishtar Gate to.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be sorted. Outcross is saying you would have expected goods boost. I'm not sure Carthage needs goods boost. He's so rich.
Yeah, their economy is on fire. I love goods boost. I grab it when I can, but if it's in a hand between goods boost and hydraulics, well, then I'm going hydraulics because that's what I want. And the other thing.
Sorry, carry on.
The other reason why not going hydraulics surprises me here is because that would also be a massive science boost across your empire too, a science and econ boost.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be fair, it's a long tech, 600 times. It's 10-turn tech, but yeah, would be nice. So Alcross says, what is the worker improvement count? Let's have a little look-see at that. So workers produced, we have 12 for Carthage, 9 for Axum. So nice advantage to Carthage there. Improvements 61 to 41. So yeah, Carthage economy is definitely on fire there. Only got the 3 shrines, 1 stronghold, 2 garrisons in Carthage. It's mainly rurals, 11 nets and 12 mines. As Axum is obviously got more shrines, a few drama buildings, not many. Don't have an awful lot more. Right, what is happening now? We've just had Carthage's turn. Interestingly, we've got a commander general on this onager without another onager next to it, which is
There's one nearby. I'm sure he'll.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. It does give him 7 attack strength, which I suppose is quite nice. A little bit extra from the general. And yes, once he does get that other onager up, that will make him considerably tougher. I wonder if Carthage is thinking of pushing though, because I guess with the commander there and the second onager, maybe moving one tile forwards to get them both on hills would be quite pleasant. It does feel a little bit strange though, this positioning. I think if I was Carthage, I would be backing these units off. What's the advantage of having these people here? That onager is very exposed. Just a warrior in front of him.
Now, what I think would be funny is this might tip your hand a little bit, so I'd be curious. I would be deeply curious how Carthage would react, but it would actually be quite funny to see this boat move forward 2 tiles and anchor again.
Really? Okay.
And that way, because currently I don't think there's anything in the area that could actually kill the boat. Maybe, I mean, maybe if you bring in enough slingers.
Yeah, I think a few slingers would do it. Yeah, like we've got a slinger doing 4 damage. We've got the elite club thrower here doing 3. I think the boat could very easily die. To be honest, if Axum isn't going in, I'd really like to see this boat retreating and healing.
Yeah. No, so maybe do that first, heal it up, and then move a little bit deeper, because I'm just wondering how many slingers are actually around. That's 4 damage, that's 2, so it would be 6, 7, 8, and that'd be 15 damage. So yeah, if that other onager doesn't get set up in range, I don't think there's enough stuff in the area to kill the boat if it's full health.
Yeah, maybe
so that
not,
would be funny.
Maybe not if it's full health.
It would just be funny to see if he did that type of aggressive positioning, and then it baited Carthage into going in and like putting a bunch of shots on the ship, and then that gave Axum perfect position to just make landfall and start killing everything.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate he doesn't have a router.
Yes, that would be helpful. I agree. So yeah, Elcross mentioning colony tile buying. Carthage has made quite a nice use of colonies. They've connected all of their coast up here. I think they did a fair bit of colony tile buying up here, so that's very pleasant. They have switched back to serfdom now, or switched into serfdom now. Well, I'm not sure actually if. In fact, actually, we could check that, couldn't we? Oh, of course, we can't check it. It's 100 civics, so we don't know if he has switched between colonies and serfdom ever, but he's certainly in serfdom at the moment. Count includes disciples. Alright, well, let's have a quick look at actual workers then, just for Alcras's benefit. So we have 10 workers in Axum versus 11 in Carthage. No disciples on either side.
I would love to see an intercession on our pagan ruler in Axum, because that would, I think, would give us, that would get us just shy of having friendly family opinion with the champions. I think.
That's very nice. No, plus 60 would give us exactly plus 200 with the champions. So yeah, that's definitely a good shout. We could easily do that. Would be good. Yeah, getting all the families up to pleased would definitely be, friendly. I always get that the wrong way around. Getting all the families up to friendly would definitely be helpful. Although I guess, in fact, this champions family, of course, that isn't currently friendly, which is most of these units.
Carthage, is stable, but most of the families aren't friendly.
Yeah, he's got the statesmen are very happy, which is always helpful. So Axum hasn't actually cleared up this last raider. He's just letting him sit back in the woods here for the moment. Has healed up his Demet here. Still only the one archer, I believe. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong person now. So Carthage now has 2 onagers in total. Let's just have a quick look at. Yeah, and Axum still only has one archer. Still got training issues, unfortunately. We're building archers, which is not going to help our training issues, but it'll be nice to get them out. A Master Poet coming out of the champion seat, which is wild. Yeah, 8-turn Master Poet. Although I guess it will let him save up a bit of iron to maybe upgrade some more Ultimates if he's not spending it all building them out of the champion seat.
Well, come on now. There's the judge there, and all he has to do is sell like 10 food in order to rush this thing out.
That is a very fine point. Yes.
Hopefully he could do that, because I can get behind that if he rushes it out instantly, just because that, like, what's his current bottleneck in his champ seat culture? He wants to get
still 17 years to strong.
Exactly. So I mean, I can get behind that. I just don't understand why he's not rushing it. He's got a judge. Well, I mean, maybe he missed it. I don't want to nitpick too much. But yeah, that could be the thinking there. He just wants to get to strong as quickly as possible.
Yep. All right, so we're back to Carthage for the moment. So we're still not seeing any movement on this. Oh, the Jebel has arrived, so we've got lots of temples being placed all over the shop. Oh, wow. Marauder lost an African elephant to a barbarian. That's embarrassing. That's not what you want.
He lost an African elephant to a barbarian?
To a barbarian, yes.
Oh my god!
Yikes.
I have decided, in addition to a highlight reel, we need a blooper reel. I officially decided we need a blooper reel.
Yep.
That's going to go on it. That's awesome. That's funny. Wow. Is he even going to be able to clear this thing now?
Yes, he still can. He still absolutely can. But yeah, losing an elephant, not great. Still, we are up to 33 orders a turn with 2 temples left to play, so 34 orders next turn, which will be quite nice for Carthage. And presumably, yeah, loads of culture as well and happiness, which is not bad at all.
Yep, and so yeah, I mean the Ishtar isn't even finished yet. So if we look in the capital now, we've gone from 80 something to 48.
Yeah, it's quite a nice improvement certainly, and yeah, Ishtar will certainly help that a lot as well. So yeah. maybe Carthage can compete with drama as well if he gets some Odeons up and upgrades them.
Be interesting. It would be interesting. I think sometimes it can be surprising how quickly that can shift off of just 1 or 2 wonders being finished. It looks like, oh, it's 80 turns away. It's turn 50. I'm not going to get that anytime soon. But then you finish 1 wonder and suddenly the time gets cut in half.
Indeed. Yeah, so Carthage is already up to 11 cities. He's got a settler ready for this barbarian camp, so he'll be able to settle that in 2 turns, so definitely before Ishtar finishes, which is still 9 turns away. We do see a slinger heading towards the Gaul camp, so Carthage has got to be eyeing that Gallic encampment.
Wild. And that's good news for Rincewind here. I think anything that distracts Carthage from pressing an advantage into the front is good, and also anything that kind of gets him spending orders on non-economy at the same time.
Okay, interesting tech choice for Axum now. We've got machinery, architecture, doctrine, and a free ballista. Machinery is tagged. I think that's a pretty sensible choice here. Yeah, that's what he's going for.
Hard to toss up the free ballista, but I want my onagers now, so I would make this decision too.
Yeah, especially with the Tibets and the Shotlies as well. Maybe disarming people to get extra damage from the onagers is definitely nice.
Although, I mean, machinery, that probably is the correct play. Can't help but always kind of salivate a little bit at the thought of orthodoxy coming online. We do have decent order economy. We could rush out a few Shotlies.
Yeah, but we can't though, because the economy can't support it. I mean, it's getting better, but I guess if he spent the next 5 or 6 turns building mines everywhere, then yes. But he's not even building mines; he's building quarries at the moment. I don't know why I got this overlay on. Get rid of that. Yeah, don't see any new mines coming online at all at the moment, which is a bit sad.
What do you think about this? He did that shopping, and he put 3 archers in the build queue. Do you think he should have just upgraded 3 archers instead?
I mean, it depends if he wants to push in, doesn't it? I mean, if he's planning on going in, then yes, having the archers now is better than having the archers later. But if he doesn't immediately need them, then it's probably more efficient just to build archers, right? He's thinking about his tech choice again. Swapped out machinery for a second, but swapped back in again.
I guess that's signaling that he's not pushing in at the moment. I don't know. I just feel like with this visibility on this hill that we have with the scout now, that doesn't seem like a very defensible force. I mean, I think we can come in here and really do some serious damage with a nice alpha strike.
Yeah.
And, killing an onager, killing 2 onagers, killing an elephant, that would be a big win, I think.
Yeah, I
we
mean,
only lose 1 Shotalai, if that.
yeah, so Alcross is saying Axum has a window with having 7 lords and 8 strength units. I definitely think that's right, and yeah, with the combo as well, and getting loads of archers online, getting onagers as well would be really nice. Perhaps. Trouble is, he just he's waiting. He was waiting for combo, and then he still hasn't moved in, and now he's maybe waiting for onagers as well. I do think if he can outproduce. I don't think he can outproduce Carthage in onagers, unfortunately, but if he get a few onagers up to help support a push, that would definitely be very helpful.
That would be my concern in this situation. It's like you have, I mean, of course we have perfect information, but there's another onager coming in 2 turns, and then there will be another onager coming 2 turns after that. So, I mean, if I'm looking at the onagers getting set up now, sometimes that can force me to pull the trigger. I've been in a duel like that before where it's like, oh no, my opponent's Kush, they're building forts on the hillside with their onagers. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to not allow that to happen and attack now and see how it goes. Which, of course, can always backfire. I don't think I'm the perfect tactician, but I think there's a lot more build-up in this region for Axum than Carthage, and you kind of have to think, well, how much military does my opponent have?
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that most of Axum's build queues are military, well,
yeah,
he did put an archer in a Ghazi, but it looks like he's just swapped away to a worker. But we've got 3 archers coming up, certainly. Axum is certainly pushing military hard. Just have a quick look at the military graph. Yeah, he's very nearly caught up to Carthage in power. 832 versus 880 now. So, yeah, it does look like Axum's moment is either now or very soon.
Okay, and mostly it's the vision thing, right? Because we're similar, right, in power at this point. And even if we look at the graph, although Axum wouldn't know this, we're slightly weaker. There's a slight advantage to Carthage. However, again, I'm thinking about troops in the region. We can see an axe all the way back here by Neapolis. We can count the number of units in Caralis and note that they are significantly less than us. So that tells us that whatever power that Carthage has that is equal to us is not in the region to fight us. So even if we're similar, it's like maybe Carthage is actually operating on this front line at half strength, for all we know.
Indeed. And Carthage obviously does have, more military units scattered all over the Empire. One less African elephant than they did have. But yeah, it does look like Axum can concentrate a lot more force into the area in the short term. But I think, I think that window is definitely closing. We get some more onagers up in actually defensible positions rather than this, forward hill position here, which I don't love at all.
Because the other thing is this second onager has yet to unlimber. So I really think that there's enough in this region to come in, kill the warrior, the axe, and the existing onager with the commander at least. And then maybe you set yourself up for a little bit. Oh, is this a regular African elephant?
It's an
Oh no,
African,
yeah,
yeah, combat
yeah. So
shield
if
bearer.
maybe you set yourself up for a minor route, but I don't know that there's enough damage in that region to really. Maybe they kill one Shotalai.
Yeah,
But if you,
I'm not sure they could even kill one Shotalai, to be honest. I would have thought routing through a couple of slingers is more likely, but yeah, even then, Axums can probably punish that and kill the elephant fairly promptly. What are we seeing from Carthage? We've been looking at what Axemen have been building. So an Axeman about to pop out of Corrales, 2 more onagers, and an African elephant in Sabrata, 6 turns away, 5-turn archer, and a 3-turn axeman. Yeah, so this is the advantage, of course, of just having more cities, is that Carthage can, equal Axum's production pretty much while still having a lot of economic development. Axum is still ahead in science, but not by as much as they were. Carthage is catching up there. We are seeing a settler coming out of the west in 3 turns, so he is very much. Wow, he's hiring. He's still hiring Gaulish units. That's wild.
that's funny.
That's 1,500 to hire a Javelineer. It's currently costing him. I mean, to be fair, he is making 1,000 a turn, so actually, I guess he doesn't really care. But it's amazing. Carthage, man, they're still good, even after the nerf. He does have the econ for it. You are very true, Alcaraz.
Right, he can upgrade to another Shotalai in the capital. Hopefully we see that.
Cleared out the final raider, so Axum doesn't have to worry about barbarians anymore, or raiders, or anything like that, because the one remaining site Carthage is dealing with. So yeah, it's just going to be eyeing each other up, working out the best time to strike now.
And now we have a general on the other onager. Yeah, man, I don't know. We have an axeman coming out in 1 turn.
Ooh, Zealot Highlander onager. Yuck, that's going to be painful.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember there was once a version of the Shotalai that had cleave on it, and if I recall correctly, even the cleave damage applied disarm to the adjacent units, and that was fun.
Oh yes, the early days. Yes, it went through a few iterations, but I think it's in a reasonable place now. They're good without being very good, I'd say. The XMUs, they have their place.
Honestly, I think if ever it is decided that they could use a buff, that I think would be my preferred one, to just give them like 25% cleave, and then let the disarm thing be a slight AoE effect. But wow. I'm not 100% convinced that they actually need a buff.
Yeah, that would be quite a buff if they could disarm in an AoE. But yeah, no, I'm not sure they do either. But interestingly, the Master Poet did get rushed into Met Printer, and he's back to Met Warriors again.
I saw that. That's
nice. Shokel Hotel is up to 1 happiness. It's patrons for you, I suppose. Possibly it's been there a while, actually. He's on making 0 happiness a turn. Just in happy territory. We are building more Why are we building granaries? It's wild. I don't understand the granary build. Like, if you want more food, surely just build a farm. It's much more wood efficient and doesn't cost you wood maintenance as well, which is your main problem at the moment. And building more quarries, yet still no more mines coming up. Oh no, we're getting 1 more mine up into Met Printer. So he's slightly increasing his iron income.
His champion worker has been running mines this entire time, but that's the only one. That's again, the kind of thing that I think of It's like if I need metal, I just make everybody do a mine. That way, I can also focus on something else afterwards. Like if I want another granary, I can build a granary. But great, I can do that because now my iron is, you know, already at 150 income because I just spent a turn or a session or two of worker spam building mines. Doing everything piecemeal like this, I think there are moments where it makes sense, but when it comes into terms of raw resource economy, I don't know. I just like to, like, I have everybody build a mine, and then I have everybody build a farm, and then I have everybody build a quarry. It somehow feels more efficient that way. Like, because actually, a good example in Axum's economy is we are currently short on food. So, ignoring the fact that we need iron at the moment, right? This would be a time where we'd be like, oh, well, we're getting low on food, so maybe I'll just have everyone build a farm real quick. And then when you do that, next thing you know, your food income is over 100, and you don't have to think about it again.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of doing it. I must admit, I kind of prefer balancing that. Like in the case where I need all the resources, which I think honestly Axum does at the moment, then I think steadily increasing all of your incomes a little bit rather than increasing one income by a lot is, I think that's a valid thing to do as well. I really don't understand this granary. Someone needs to tell me what on earth is going on here. Alcrest says boosting a farm with a poet there, which I must admit I don't understand at all.
Maybe he's imagining he'll get a religion at some point, and that is the seat, so he wants the growth there, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah, growth is, don't get me wrong, granaries are a decent building, so growth is good, but he is quite short on wood. He's about to get machinery in 4 turns.
Yeah.
He's going to need a load more wood for that. He still wants to upgrade all his slingers into archers. I don't think you want to be spending any more wood than you have to on
Yeah, I don't get
stuff.
it either. Yeah, it's just going to be more wood tax, really.
We are seeing some road building in Axum now. He's expanding his road network a bit. Let's just have a look. We're still not connected on the forward city, but we're not far off now. Just need a few more roads between Zulu and Nagazi. Or maybe even a road up to Exmara might even make sense to easily swap units back and forth between there. Not sure what the plan is there. What is Carthage doing? So they're still messing around a little bit with the Gallic camp down here. Not really doing very much at the moment. Finished a couple of lumber mills and a quarry. We could get an ambition to control 2 older shopkeepers, which I guess just isn't going to happen because you'd have to get coinage. No one wants coinage in a duel.
I am fascinated by this pre-spam across the map. I guess it's science.
Oh yeah, urban specialists always good. Yeah, load more science. Yeah. Seems reasonable.
If science has crept back up, it's now well over 60. So yeah, that's not. I mean, I guess that's going to contribute, right?
Yeah, he's definitely catching Axum up. Axum has a slight lead now, but yeah, it's not going to for long at this rate because Carthage is developing their economy way faster than Axum is. We've got an apprentice officer coming out in Shotel Hotel, and that master poet that just came out in Printer. Almost, we've got an acolyte in Matara. Yeah, we're getting some development, but yeah, again, I think that's just the difference in the number of cities we're seeing there. Carthage can just do everything.
All right, we have our third onager on the scene, and I feel like that if both onagers, if Trader 1 moves in and this Zealot moves in and unlimbers, I think that officially closes the window of an opportunistic attack.
Oh wow! And look at the available general for this new trader onager. 30% strength Zealot with Highlander.
Jesus Christ! Wow!
That's brutal.
That is grand. Oh my god! I hope he spots that.
We're seeing some movement into the woods down here, so he's not advancing along the coast. I quite like this from Carthage, actually. This is not what I was imagining they would do, but yeah, this seems quite nice. If you can creep up and start pressuring Matara, there's no walls in Matara. That city's going down very quickly if he gets a couple of onagers within range, and Axum can't wrinkle them out. course, it's not necessarily that easy to do that, but there's a couple of forest towers here where he could set up onagers in range of that city.
Yeah, this could get spicy. I definitely think with the hills, he has a nice position to attack into Matara. And then I'll be curious what the landscape in the north will look like for Axum's potential to maybe do some kind of impressive flanking maneuver and, take him out up there. And
I mean, it's not looking good for me as far as I can see, because this onager is also covering the onager in the trees is also covering the northern side. So yeah, it's quite nice positioning. They're covering each other without exposing themselves to a single attack. Obviously, Axum doesn't have any cavalry, but Carthage doesn't necessarily know that. Don't expect Carthage to push him through Marauder, though Marauder has been historically aggressive. I'm kind of interested to see Carthage start a little bit of harassment and just give Axum a tickle and see what happens. Like this Gallic camp's going to be cleared in a couple of turns, maybe even next turn. Actually, they can clear this Gaul camp, and then literally the only way to go is into each other. Are horses available on the Axum side of the map? There certainly are horses in Echmara, and some more in Masawa. And yeah, there's loads of horses all over the place. But of course, Axum doesn't even have iron working, so no husbandry, so they're not online at all. So Axum could go there, but they're not really in a position to do that very quickly at the moment.
Yeah, it's a ways away. Now, here's a question for you. Check out the scout in Matara, the Carthaginian scout in Matara. Now, again, there's no way that Rincewind would be aware of this, but unless maybe he's watched it go into that tile. But for my own curiosity, it's true that if I were to completely surround this tile with units, that scout would be stuck there until it gets revealed, right? It wouldn't be able to invisibly walk through me, right?
Indeed. Yes, that is correct. Cool. I guess can you even walk through enemy units with an invisible unit? I'm not even sure about that.
I honestly don't remember. Sometimes I feel like it's possible that yes, but also no. I don't know.
The movement preview I'm seeing from the Carthage scout suggests no to me. Let me just actually check from Carthage. Yeah. No, you can't walk through units with an invisible unit. So yeah. If you just put units around there, then yes, that scout would be trapped there, and it would just die when they get exposed. But how did that scout even get in there? Border expansion? Yeah, he's got a stonecutter on that quarry, so I imagine that tile wasn't in Matara's territory until he built the stonecutter.
Yeah. Honestly, I really like Rincewind's vision here. He's got 3 scouts on the map, and more or less, they're kind of like where they kind of should be. You have one in the back line checking potential reinforcement route. You have one kind of following the military movements of your opponent. Okay, he's keeping an eye on this clear site, and then of course you're watching that front line.
No, indeed, it's pretty solid indeed. I guess Carthage's vision isn't too bad either. So they've got the scout in Matara. Where else have they got scouts? They've got one more scout, which is sitting in their own territory for some reason. All right, well that's not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, that's what made me think of the scout being stuck down here, because I was noticing Rincewind's vision, and then I kind of peeked over to Carthage, and it's not really that great. You have this one scout here, but I feel like you'd kind of be able to see most of this with your unit being nearby anyway. Of course, it would be tricky to get a scout any deeper into Axum territory, so I guess this is just the best you got.
Yeah, it's definitely awkward. I mean, I guess at least the scout can poke out as it needs to and then come back again.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, I highly doubt Marauder will twig that. I mean, it's very hard to think. I find it very hard to keep track of, especially in network games, the potential places scouts could be, and chopping that and clearing it and you know, surrounding a forest on the off chance it's got a scout in sounds like a pro level move to me. I don't know. Maybe we'll see it at some point.
It could be fun. Yeah.
Alrighty, back to Carthage. Turn 59. We're running out of time to do this ambition. We've got a legacy to promote units 10 times. We only need to promote 2 more units, so it's certainly very doable.
It's very doable, yeah.
Does need to track it. I suppose...
This was one of those ambitions that can be easy to forget about, I think.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I suppose there's no real penalty for him delaying this, other than the fact that it's half an order he's leaving on the table that he could be stacking up every turn. Right, yeah, so Carthage has cleared this site now. That is the last tribal unit gone. No more hiring, no more clearing. He's done.
And we have 1 settler finishing next turn. We have 6 turns on the Ishtar, so it looks like we're going to get a complete Ishtar bomb all across the map for all of our cities.
Beautiful.
Let's see how much that will actually level up, because we have some level ups coming online already.
Just an upgrade from a slinger into an archer in Corrales.
Honestly, his culture across most of his cities is doing pretty fantastic. Is he inspiring or something? It's wild. It's the temples now. It's having the temples everywhere.
Yeah.
That's ramping up his culture, yeah.
Bad at all. Yeah, and of course there's... Oh, the priests don't actually give any culture. Okay, fair enough.
No, they don't. It's happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something I tend to build, priests. But I guess with the Jeb will make that a lot more tempting.
Yeah, you know what? I definitely... Yeah, the Jebel, I think, is interesting because so many of these cities don't have any infrastructure, right? So now this does create it. I never really kind of... It's so easy to look at the Jebel as like, oh my god, orders. But actually, in a weird way, I mean, that's a very easy access to a quick science. Like, even out here in the middle of the map at Hippo Regis, that's a 5-turn specialist for 2 science. And when you have no worker in the region and no other infrastructure, that's not a bad deal.
Yeah. Not bad at all. And if you can get some theologies up. Yeah, getting a... Oh, he does have dualism up now, so every temple is giving him a happiness.
Wow.
But he's also getting 1 science per year per religion. I'm not sure dualism was the right choice here. I think maybe the one that gives you science from urban specialists. Is it urban specialists or is it just specialists? I can never remember.
It is urban specialists. And actually... I feel like, in fairness, I think it's very difficult to pass up the extra order boost if you're going to run the Jebel, because that gives you an order in every city. However, in keeping with that idea that you could get a priest everywhere in cities that you don't normally have access to a specialist, an urban specialist in particular, I think running Gnosticism could be interesting too, because that gives you 3 science in every city in addition to the half order from the temple. I never quite clocked that wonder as a potential science wonder, but now I will think of it that way sometimes.
Yeah, certainly interesting. I guess No Legs Kitten has been badgering us all to build Jebel Bakal for some time, and I guess maybe he was right all along.
There you go.
Yeah, no, this is looking a lot more defensible now from Carthage's position here. Is Carthage ahead in silent income? I don't think so, but let's have a quick look. No, Axum still has a lead, 79 to 69, but yeah, closing fast. And Carthage is still nearly 500 science up invested. So yeah, looks like Carthage is going to remain ahead in total science for the foreseeable.
A nice flood in Axum. Damaged a couple of things. Unfortunately, our amphitheater has gone down. It's always a bummer.
Oh, that sucks.
Let's see. 21 turns to legendary. 45 to legendary in the other capital.
We're only 10 turns to strong in Demet Printer now, which is going to be nice when that comes online. Still
That's
needs
nice.
to get
Yeah,
more
that's nice.
iron coming in, but yeah, getting there.
Ooh, and our discontent is frozen in the champion seat too. That's quite nice.
Interesting. So that is friendly religion, theatre, state religion, grain dole, centre luxury there, and his governor is pious. Huh. Yeah, okay. Not bad, not bad. Opinions
Very nice.
are not. Wow. Patrons are plus 629 opinion. Wild.
Classic.
Only the one city. Yeah. No
Yeah,
discontent.
it's amazing. I love doing that. It's such a fun way to play patrons.
Yeah, we have actually gone down to discontent level 1 now in the city. So we got minus 20 discontent, but yeah, 629.
And dude, just think of that. They're actually only getting. Wait, how are they only getting 20 from envy? I guess the empire is not large enough, huh? But yeah, I feel like you could expand and settle the majority of this map and never settle another patron city and then still stay friendly with that level of opinion.
Yeah, for sure. So we're interesting. We are seeing this road between Matara and Nechmara, so we've connected Matara there, and we've got a nice route between the two cities there. I quite like that. It's good to see. It means his forces are much more joined up now, so he can respond to aggression in Matara much more easily than he could before now.
That does give him full connection at last, which is nice. Always nice to grab that. We now have another onager on the scene, an archer being upgraded for the Carthaginians. Let's see what they can see. Can they see this? No, they can't see these units up in the north here. It should be interesting.
See, there's an onager in the back line here. He hasn't put that amazing general on it yet, which is a shame, and it's also not anchored. So I'm not sure what the plan is for this trader onager here.
That is just... That might be one of the best generals I think I've ever seen.
Certainly not bad at all for Carthage's position. Yeah, onagers in those hills. We're seeing a bit of a scout poke from Axum. They're having a look to see what's going on. Not seeing anything. He hasn't put the trader general on as yet, no.
2 turns to machinery in Axum, which honestly, not too bad in terms of timing. Your opponent's about to have 4 onagers on the scene. Just by the time you're able to start making your own, it could definitely be way worse. So, yeah. Caught up nicely on that front, I think.
Good. Our quest would really love to see forts and colony tile buying. Grab the marble and the crabs. Yeah, perhaps certainly some forts wouldn't be bad on the hills. Be interesting. That's the civics.
Man, I mean, this is so good. It's like the Demits, man, are so great. Like a Demit just does 8 damage to an axe and only receives 4. That's just so good. Oh, I mean, I guess he had Highlander, so what's a better example? No, I guess, 3, 4.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's 6 strength units versus 5 strength.
It's great.
And yeah, then disarming as well. It's very nice.
Then you disarm, and it's amazing. And I gotta admit, we've seen lots of Carthage games. I think they've been picked about 15 or 16 times in the tournament so far.
They've been very popular.
And I mean, their win rate's interesting. It's not like they're winning every game. I think their win rate's right around 50 or 40%. So that's cool.
The military score graph here is very interesting. Carthage has just shot up. They were equal 4 turns ago. Carthage now has a considerable lead.
That's probably from the onagers coming online. An axe has just come online. Yeah, another axe in the center.
And he hired a couple of the Gaul units as well. So yeah, that's another 10 strength.
Yeah. Wow. And does that...
Yeah.
Yes, and that's going to be the other thing. Ah, man. That's the other shitty thing. Is now Axum's showing as weaker. So any possible opportunity of Axum feeling like he had an advantage to press in is probably going to disappear with that.
Yeah, it can't be an appealing proposition to push in against a stronger foe when you're seeing quite a lot build up here now.
Yeah.
And there's only more coming. But what else can Axum do, right? I mean, if they don't push now, then I'm not sure when things are ever going to get better for them.
Yeah.
Like they certainly
And that's,
can't.
again,
They
that's one
certainly
of those
can't just
things.
sit back and wait forever, because Carthage will win on points eventually with all those cities and the monopoly on wonders. We are getting the Zig coming up now as well. Ziggurat in 9 turns,
Yeah.
which I think is very sensible.
Yeah, I do think with the handful of Shotalai we had, maybe we had the opportunity to kind of kick Carthage out of Carolus at least, and maybe
Yeah,
set up a position there.
I mean they
But
could certainly have a good fight. I mean it's not going to be one-sided either way if he goes in now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, onagers are great, but not having an 8th strength unit when your opponent does is also tricky. But we have seen that before, where people hit their 8th strength timing pretty solidly. They try to press the advantage, and they lose anyway. So
Yeah, I think if you're going to do an 8 strength push, you really need to just rush out several of them and go in with like at least 6 or so 8 strength units as quickly as you can. If you wait too long, your timing advantage erodes. But if you go in before you've actually built enough of them, then yeah, you still need to actually have the units on the field rather than just the ability to build them. So it's definitely you need to get the timing right. I'd say momentum, personally, I know that wasn't a question for me, Alcaraz, but I'm going to answer it anyway. I think the momentum is solidly on Carthage's side at the moment. What do you think, Scientific? You've got a prediction who's going to win this match?
who do I think will win this match?
Hmm.
Is that the question?
Yes, indeed.
Well, I mean, it's looking strong for Carthage, and the reason why it's looking strong for Carthage is because points, right? It's like once all he really needs to do, there's no path down to into these mountains that on the site he just cleared, so everything's going to come down to Carolus versus Matara. So honestly, even if he just wanted to sit back, eco spam, and build a bunch of wonders, all he really needs to do is create a defensive line on Carolus. And then at that situation, what you're looking at is can you outproduce your opponent? You know, can you, as your opponent comes in, try to take shots at you to kill units? You know, do you have a massive onager line? Are you reinforcing yourself quick enough? And we do have good roads and good, a good kind of like pipeline of. Well, it looks actually we're building another wonder here. The ziggurat was just started in Carthage, so we have strong economy in Carthage. So that's kind of, I think you already called it. That's kind of what it's going to come down to. Axum is going to have to eventually make a decision here to start taking cities and points away from Carthage. So I think at this point, it's Carthage's game to lose because,
Hmm.
and what I think that hinges on is Rincewind getting comfortable enough to push, even if it's risky.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs to. I think he needs to do something. Perhaps. I mean, even when he gets machinery, see, machinery is a key tech, but he still has to build the onagers and then get them to the front line. He doesn't have a lot of civics for rushing. If he's building them out of his Demet printer city, that's quite a few turns before we can get them to the front. So yeah, I think it's if he's waiting for onagers, we're probably looking at another, turn 70 attack maybe, which is
Yeah.
slightly dicey. Shotaleyes, I think we still just have the 2. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, still just 2 Shotaleyes, which he's had for 10 turns now, maybe more.
Now, I mean, with onagers, I think the math of the battle can change a little bit because I feel like maybe if I mean the issue that you're dealing with here is that there's a lot of woods in front of Carolus, but maybe if This onager on the hills in these woods can only get so far into those northern hills. I feel like if maybe you are able to clear those northern hills and set up some onagers in the back line outside of that onager range, you should be able to hit the city and anything in it. And then you're just trading kills at that point. I think there are two strong onager positions facing against each other. And if you can then get Shotalize in these woods, so you kind of, this is a little bit splitting forces, I suppose, but if you can kind of come in for a strike in the north and set up onagers on these hills and protect them with, I don't know, slingers or shit, although the elephants will cause a problem, and then simultaneously come south and put Shotalize in these woods to pressure these onagers, maybe that works.
Yeah, Shotalize in the woods would certainly be quite hard to deal with. The onagers aren't going to do very much damage. I guess the elephant potentially could knock them out of the woods, of course.
Yep, there's always that.
Yeah, elephants are surprisingly hard to deal with. To be honest, they've got a lot of utility.
Yeah, they're so fantastic. They're a tricky unit to, I think, conceptualize both on how you want to use them and get the best use out of them. But I think they just completely mess up the combat math of your calculations when you're dealing with, I'm going to put my unit here and I'm going to stop this and the other thing. And in my game against Aaron, I was able to set up quite a few route chains that just did not exist without the panic ability. And that's one of my favorite things to do is build a route chain.
Definitely very strong. So we are seeing a fort being built in Matara, the first fort, I think, of the game, perhaps. It's on a hill, so it'd be a nice position for an onager. I mean, again, the elephant, of course, can just swoop in and knock anyone out of that fort. So, again, forts are less valuable when you're facing elephants because you can just say no, you're not going to sit in that fort. That's my fort now. Or at least, prevent them from using the fort. Move in and burn it if you want to.
Yeah, it would be interesting. See, I wonder if there could be value to try and figure out a way to bait Carthage into an attack. Because I feel like if Carthage strikes first, in this current situation, I think that might be an advantage for Axum because you want to try and fight. Although no, even this onager up in the northern hill can hit this entire valley on the way into Matara.
Yes, it's got some good. In fact, both of the onagers have got very good.
Both
currently unlimbered
incredible
onagers.
Range.
He did assign that amazing general to his trader onager in the end.
Nice.
Although he hasn't.
So gross.
Although
he needs to get that thing on the hill.
Yeah, and unlimber it, frankly. Yeah, getting it on the in fact, getting it on the hill where the trader axe is right now would be amazing because he could start bombarding units there. And I mean,
it does 11 damage to that slinger.
It makes him a little bit vulnerable, admittedly, but I don't know. I guess the question is it in Carthage's interest to push at the moment? And I would say probably it isn't. The smart play for Carthage is probably just to hang back, fortify up, and let Axum either come to you, in which case you can wipe them out with massed onagers, or just sit back and win the game on points.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a mistake that I often can make in my own games. I look at a general like that. I look at the damage I can do. I look at the position, and I'm like, oh well, you know what? I'm just gonna onager creep and start a fight. When it's like, maybe I don't have to. Maybe I can just sit here and keep building up and keep getting stronger, keep getting more points, or whatever else. It's always enticing to want to end a match on a flashy battle, but I mean, you don't always have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the huge advantage of having more victory points and more cities, more wonders, is that even if you aren't planning on winning by points, then you are forcing your opponent to react to that because you're giving yourself the option. You don't have to win a duel.
Exactly, and that also creates pressure in a lot of ways. And like once the clock starts ticking, I think it influences. I think it can enforce or creates a landscape that can lend itself to more mistakes, because we talked about how Axum maybe had a window earlier here to go into Careless, but let's say he did that and then it failed, right? And like he didn't bring enough, or he just, we were wrong and like he just couldn't pull it off. It's like sometimes the thing that will even motivate those types of decisions is the thinking that you and I are both talking about right now. It's like, oh, well, shit, he has to do something, right? And so then that can put your player, if you have this type of momentum where you're basically forcing, like you don't have to do anything and your opponent has to figure out what to do. I think that opens them up to a lot more potential of making mistakes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they could wait too long, they could attack too early. Oh, because I have to attack, right? And then it could backfire, they fail. Or they could do the thing where they wait too long. I think we saw this in one other game where players were building up, and then just pretty much right when the final fight was about to break out, we found out that one of the players was literally like 6 turns away from winning. So it's like, well, now there's no point. There's almost no way you're going to win that match and claw that back if you're not that player.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're applying that pressure, you're just forcing the other player to make riskier moves that they maybe wouldn't have done, just to try and get some momentum back. Rules in Matara, says Alcaraz. Yes, indeed, we are getting some 4-turn rules. I'm not sure that. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it's fine, but if the onagers get in strike range, it's not really going to make that much difference.
Not going to do anything, yeah. We get another archer. Where did that scout go? Did we manage to kill the scout? Oh, the scout is in Zula now.
Finally seeing some fortification from the axe now. I guess that was a warrior. Possibly he upgraded. Yeah, he moved the warrior back and he's fortified an axe on this hill, which possibly could have done quite some time ago. But,
interesting, speaking of forts in general, interesting to see that Carthage hasn't taken any opportunity to put forts up on these hills.
I mean, it's definitely dangerous to do that, of course, because it's outside his territory. So if you're building forts that your opponent can potentially claim for themselves, that's always a risky proposition, I would say.
That is true. All right, we have another onager in position. This super beefy general onager still has not been sent anywhere to unlimber yet.
That's wild. It's wild that is not unlimbered. I mean, if you're not going to do anything else with him, you could at least just put him in the city and unlimber him. I mean, surely that's better than just leaving him where he can't do anything.
If we really want to nitpick here, I guess this was just promoted, but this onager up on the coast could actually go on where the unlimbered zealot is, because now he has both Highlander, and Ranger.
And Ranger, yes. Oh my word, that would be horrific.
So that would be another 50% attack. He has 2 onagers right now with the ability to fire at plus 50%. That's insane.
Yeah, that's 16 damage to a slinger on flat land.
Oh no. That's too bad, man.
Wild. So what have we just grabbed? We've got Zoroastrianism in Masawa. So yeah, Zoroastrianism has just spread to Axum. Actually, I guess he's got 4 Zoroastrian cities. Interesting. Not ideal for him, but hopefully none of his families convert. They're all quite happy being pagan at the moment. What did we just get tech-wise? That's what. Oh, we've got machinery. Right, so we can build some onagers now if we want to. We've got some nice tech choices here. All 1 or 2 turns. We could get Civics boost. That would be amazing. Start rushing some onagers out. I think that's
I think that's the play.
The best choice, eh? Although forestry, he really does need wood soon.
Yeah, that's tricky. And we have a big draw pile to get through, which is unfortunate.
And also a free chariot would potentially be quite useful if he is thinking about trying to attack some onagers sometime soon.
Yeah. Lots of interesting, good choices. I think it's hard.
Yeah, and also ironworking, which he desperately needs as well. He really wants all of these decks.
Yeah, he needs everything. He went for forest. Wow. Boof. I
forestry.
hate seeing
Yeah,
the Civics boost get tossed, but
I
I mean,
can I can understand why he's done it, but yeah, it doesn't feel
yeah, I
great.
can't fault him for the choice, but that always stings a whole bunch.
Definitely. Yeah, because he
Especially because
really
that'll be
could.
more training, right? Because he has two shrines up in the north, two fire shrines up in the north. So, I mean, I get it. I just hate it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, so we're building one onager. We're getting a 5-turn onager. But yeah, Civic Boost could have got him. I guess he doesn't really have the resources to mass spam out rushing units either, to be honest. He's used all his stone
Yeah.
and he's going to be out of wood real soon. So maybe that is the better play.
And that's going to be the issue here. Is like Carthage's economy is just insane right now. It's just so good. He had 182 stone. He has over 1,000 gold coming in, and everything else is pretty solid. I mean, not amazing, but pretty solid incomes. Everything's in the green. So you have all these build queues. You have the money to purchase any deficits, and that's what you're going to be up against. You're going to be up against that economic machine as it starts making its way towards you, and whether it decides to attack or not, it's just going to make it harder for you to take care of this.
Yeah,
Yeah, he really is putting a priest in every temple. I don't know why, but he's doing elder priest and master priest. I kind of dislike that, but the apprentice idea everywhere, I don't hate that at all. There's literally being put an apprentice priest in every city. That fascinates me, and I don't hate it.
Very nice indeed. We have just seen an exposed Carthaginian scout get killed in Zula.
Nice.
So that's always handy.
Getting fantastic.
Some promotions on an archer here. And yeah, interesting. The goods boost is now in the draw pile for Axum. So perhaps even more incentive to cycle until you get goods boost, because that's what he really needs at the moment. He really needs resources to start getting more units out.
Well, that's why I think, I mean, again, forestry's fine here, but that's why I think it would have been nice to grab Civics Boost into Goods Boost, because then you'll have the ability to rush, and you can afford it.
Combo indeed. Shotel Hotel is still working on his Shotel 4 years till he gets his third Shotel up. Got another Onager unlimbered on the flat land behind the river, which isn't terrible, although, yeah, the Super Zealot Onager is still not unlimbered. What are we looking at? We've got 78 science in Carthage now. Not bad. I guess.
Oh, and that's going to spike. Because we have land consolidation coming up in one turn. I missed that.
Nice. Yeah, lovely. Love to see that.
Yeah,
military scores. Carthage is still way ahead of military score. They're both ticking up quite nicely, but yeah, Carthage continues to climb very happily. Oh, Axum has just spiked in science, interestingly. I'm not sure what happened there. He just got 8 science increase. I'm looking at the wrong thing there. 75 to 87. 12 science increase last term for Axum. But yeah, so Carthage is still behind, but yeah, definitely catching up. Priest should be a decent boost on the religion. Let's see. Do you get a boost from the religion for building specialists? Hang on a minute, let's have a look at the religious opinion. Zoroastrian specialist, yeah, it's not much. Getting +6 at the moment.
Yeah, it's opinion. It's not nothing, but a little bit.
And yeah, potentially a training boost for the Masters and Elders, fair, but he's not massively flush on citizens.
That's wild. He actually built an Elder Priest in one of them, so
yeah. Sabrata's got 6 citizens. That would be a nice place to get an Elder Priest up.
That would be nice.
Settler's still worming his way down to the city site. How long have we got left on Ishtar? 3 turns. So yeah, it is definitely going to make it there, just about. No museum on the map. No, indeed. Let's have a look at the wonders. So we've got Ziggurat and Ishtar being built. Jebel has been completed. Remaining wonders are Oracle, German, Necropolis, Mausoleum, Acropolis, Colossus, Circus Maximus, Hagia Sophia, Via Rectitude, and of course the Heliopolis. Beautiful. But yeah, surprised not to see the mausoleum come up. If again, if either people are, if either side are culture rushing for legendary, the mausoleum would be amazing. And yeah, just to get victory points for Carthage. Definitely for Carthage, mausoleum would be a good pickup. And yeah, he absolutely can afford it. He has all the money in the world. He's got a decent amount of other resources. He's got loads of civics. So Carthage absolutely could just spam wonders all day.
Interestingly,
cost. Mausoleum will cost him
I don't
7,000.
think.
Doable. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. I don't think. I don't think Carthage is going to end up with an heir anytime soon because both of his adults are getting up there in age. So that could be interesting to see what happens
Yes,
if he dies without an heir.
36-year-old wife. It's definitely possible to have a kid. She does like him quite a lot. So yeah, definitely possible. And yeah, we have the Oracle coming along line. So Carthage is just wonder spamming. You know, I'd rather see Mausoleum first,
yeah.
but he can still
This is
afford
awful.
Mausoleum as well as Oracle if he wanted to. So yeah,
This is the absolute worst position to be on, I think, if you're a player in Axum's position where it's like your opponent's fully expanded. Technically, they're on your side of the map. Carolus is on our side of the map. And now, you know, the last couple of turns, a new wonder has been being built every turn. So, I mean, you're up against the clock.
indeed. Right, okie dokie. I'm just having a look. Someone's saying they're getting error on 1000 trying to connect to the stream, which could be a result of stream settings like setting the resolution too high. I might just whack the resolution down and see if that makes any difference. I think we are broadcasting in 1440p at the moment. I guess I can't change that without stopping the stream. Yeah, not sure. Maybe something to check for next stream. Alrighty, what are we doing? We're back to Axum. They have managed to get their fort up unmolested, so Carthage is not taking the opportunity to harass that at the moment. So I imagine Axum would like to get a onager in that fort, but they still don't have any as yet. So it's 4 turns till the first onager comes out. So yes,
Honestly, I think the only good news for Axum right now is I'm looking across all of these build queues in Carthage, and it's not military units everywhere. Because I feel like if everything was building a military unit right now, that would continue to make the possibility of Carthage breaking this line at some point more and more insurmountable.
Sorry, say that again, please.
I'm saying the long term at the moment, a nice advantage for Axum is Carthage's build queues. Nearly all of them are not building military units, and I feel like if Carthage was just doing nothing but spamming military units, it would make breaking into this front line of Carolus harder and harder to actually achieve. So I'm thinking maybe Axum's onager window will still be around in like 4 or 5 turns.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I don't know how he did. The position on these Carthaginian onagers is fantastic, really, because you can't kill one without getting fired on by 3 other ones.
Yeah. I'm still sad about this salad that's not even unlimbered, but other than that, certainly that's quite nice to have
he needs to
overlapping
find
fire.
a home.
At least put him on a hill. But yeah, I mean, the Axum has been positioned for an attack for so long now. There's so many units just stacked up, and he's just building more and more military units. Yeah, he really does need to commit at some point.
He still does 9 damage to that slinger in a fort.
Yeah. Nasty. I mean, to be fair, it's only a slinger. Oh, but that is a slinger with Highlander as well, mind you.
This
Wow.
one that has Ranger and Highlander would do 10 to that slinger
Yeah.
in the fort.
Yeah,
It's
it's interesting, isn't it? Because if I was playing Carthage right now, I would absolutely be advancing these onagers and pushing an attack. And I'm not saying that is the right thing to do, but that is that is absolutely what I would be doing.
Yeah, well, that's my thing too. I'm the type of player who, I mean, just because I can, I feel like I would, even though you could argue the correct play is to literally just hold your position, keep getting stronger, and push points for the win because your opponent's not going to be able to stop you. Your economy's insane. Uh, but it's like I can't help but thinking, but I can do 10 damage with this onager, so I want to go do that.
Yeah, yeah, indeed, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? It's just fun. It's just fun
It's
using
just, yeah,
your
it's fun.
uber strong units to demoralize and ruin someone else's day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Alcaraz would not. He'd fought up and spam monitors everywhere. Well, that's certainly going to be a strong defensive position. Yeah, I mean, some forts from Carthage definitely wouldn't hurt. I suppose if Carthage is going to start unlimbering onagers in range of Axum's troops, they are forcing the issue then. Because either
Yes.
you have to retreat or you have to advance. And I guess in Axum's case, they would probably have to advance. They can't really afford to lose Matara or have it completely shut down.
And to be honest, I think that's strategically one of the main advantage of the onager. Like, to be totally honest, I'm not particularly fond of the onager all that much. However,
Blasphemy.
it's yeah. Well, because what it is like by the time I get onagers, it's like ballistas are right around the corner, and I just love slinging ballistas at everything because they
Yeah,
shred everything.
you do love blisters, possibly as much
But
as I love onagers.
But well, no. The thing is, though, is that you're 100% right. Is that the onager um, tactical strength is just insane because you can force conflict. You know, like that slow onager creep where your opponent just slowly retreats because there's literally no other option, or decides, screw it, I'm going to attack into this meat grinder. I mean, those are literally the choices: start a fight that you don't want to fight, or retreat.
All right, well, Carthage has decided it's time to push in. We have an
Mm-hmm.
unlimbered zealot onager on the hill in range of 3 of Axum's units.
Yep. All right, so we'll see how
Awesome.
Axum responds.
Yeah, I mean, that archer can do quite a lot. The archer in the city can do 8 damage to the axeman on that marble.
Ooh, that's beautiful range too.
Yeah, it must be it's an eagle eye Highlander archer. But yeah, there's
This is the moment.
a lot of axemen here, and Axeman still doesn't have any routing units, so that is going to be quite tricky to break through, I'd say.
Just about to bring that up. Yeah, this is one of the moments. It's so interesting. I've loved watching these tournament games and see the unit compositions that come out, because some games you see chariots being arguably the defining fact of the game. And then in other games, you see someone who has chariots, but there's so many spears on your opponent's side that it like becomes tricky to do anything. But this is turning out to be one of those games where it's like your opponent doesn't have a single spear. It's turn 63, and we don't have the ability to route anything, and that's just a very, very unfortunate situation to be
Yeah,
in.
I think it's such an easy mistake to make with Axum,
Yeah.
with their starting text and just never grabbing ironworking. And I did that myself in the last game I played as them. Turn 100 odd and no routing units is unfortunate, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know what's funny? That's such a cool thing because I think starting with labor force and what are they? They have trapping and something else. and administration. I think their tech start is pretty decent, is nice, and I think having that tech skip of being like, oh, I start labor force and I can go straight to navigation for orders is great. But it's kind of cool how there is a drawback there. There's a bit of a bait where you can realize it's turned 70 and you still don't have iron working. And oh, whoops, I actually kind of need it right now.
Yep. You do not want to be losing it. So Carthage have got land consolidation now. They've started a grove at least. Yeah, not much else. Axum still don't have an onager. No, they are still 4 turns away from an onager, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know what Axum can really do here. I mean, they can certainly do a lot of damage. They can mess up some of these axes quite nicely. Even the Demets are doing 9 damage to an axeman. But yeah, they are going to take a brutal amount of fire from that. Ishtar in 3 turns, yes. 2 turns now, not long. That will be a few events. Carthage has got 4 weak cities, so it's not going to be an excessive amount of events, I don't think, unless maybe we'll get a developing city pushed up to strong.
It would appear as if there are no elephants or camels on this entire map.
Ah, that's unfortunate for Carthage.
Yeah.
And I suppose
okay,
for
here's
Axum,
a fun development. Here's a fun development. Hydraulics in the hand for Axum.
Oh, yeah. So they've both had the opportunity to go for hydraulics. Carthage had the opportunity for hydraulics again last turn and did take it, by the way. Carthage is 7 turns away from hydraulics now.
Oh, yeah, they're both going to get it at 7 turns.
No, he's taking phalanx.
What? What?
Yeah.
I guess I understand why, but I kind of hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly hard to be facing down a nation with mounted unique units and not have spears. But given the composition he can see 2 elephants here, and there's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 axes plus the onagers.
The other thing where I think map knowledge could become, like really paying attention to the map that you're on could become crucial here, because I agree. I definitely understand the idea behind phalanx. You don't want to be dealing with elephants when you don't have any spears. Solid thinking. However, we're looking at 2 elephants out in the open, and we could, as Axum, deduce the fact that there are no elephants on the map that Carthage has access to.
Yeah.
Which means that's 1 city build queue's worth of production bringing out elephants. And in that case, I'm not 100% sure we need an excessive amount of spears to try and counter that.
And I wonder if it's also worth clocking the fact that Carthage is still on 5 laws 20 turns later. Obviously, they're not going for a second level UU timing. So maybe you can hold off on phalanx. Yeah, and again, especially with all these axes, it feels really unfortunate having to build spears to push into that. Axum is just backing off. They don't want any part of this. They're saying, come a bit closer, why don't you? And we'll see. But yeah, not feeling like they can challenge this at the moment. Question, I suppose, is going to be how far Carthage can push in, and if Carthage want to push in. They can't hit the city at the moment, but it really wouldn't be that hard for Carthage to push up on just a couple more tiles and start threatening the city.
Yep.
But again, just a question of if they want to or not.
Should be interesting.
See a shirt line moving forwards.
We now see the first Shotalai in the region, though. I mean, Axum has had them in the region for a while now. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute.
He has got his 3rd Shotalai up, finally. So that's progress in the right direction.
Wait a minute. Does fortification increase vision?
I don't believe so. No.
Oh, forts increase vision, not fortifications.
Do they? Interesting. So they do. Plus 2 unit vision. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever realised that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I've never started using them until I played multiplayer, and I realized that's actually awesome.
Yeah, forts are good, for sure. Although less good if you can't stand in them. Because your opponent's just denied them.
Yeah, less good if you can't stand in them. 100% correct.
Alright, well, Axum, yeah, is definitely not responding at all to the aggression this turn, so it'll be interesting to see how Carthage wants to play this. But the ball is definitely in their court at the moment. Wow, they're just running even further away. Okay.
Well, I mean, I definitely think this is the correct play if you're not willing to go attack, because then, ideally, what happens here is, well, for Axum anyway, is that Carthage decides, all right, cool, I'm going to come in and take the city, move in a bunch of axes or whatever, and then you just kill everything.
Yeah, I suppose, it would be very nice for some more of these units to move out the trees. Even if the onagers stay in the trees, then it's going to have to get some axes in front of them that are not in trees to protect them. So, yeah, that's probably a better moment to be attacking with.
Right, we have advancement in the north.
Yeah.
Onager creeping, I suspect, will come up next.
Quite sure what this axe is doing. Just blocking off this choke to keep units safe so we can't get flanked, I suppose. Oh, Onager forwards here. Okay. Yep. So he's going to have to back off his biome again.
Yep.
I mean, I quite like this play from Carthage. It's definitely steady bit of Onager pushing. Yeah.
Well, it's certainly tricky to deal with, right? Especially because if you look at this northern path, it's like yeah, you're going to be able to kill what, an axe, but then what after that?
Yeah, exactly. You can't really get enough units in the area. I mean, I guess with enough archers, perhaps, but even they're not doing a huge amount of damage to the axes. It's tricky.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is a part of the game that I think I'm bad at, because we see this happen quite often in this tournament where it's like this slow creep, slow push, just move 1 or 2 tiles each unit, and the last time I attempted that didn't go so well. I think I get
well, I think it was more of a mad charge across the map in your case, I think, wasn't it, rather than a slow push?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wild! The Onager with the Highlander General has just unlimbered, not in trees, not on a hill.
I'm curious. We can do 9 damage to that. I wonder if that creates an opportunity somehow.
What? I don't understand that at all. That's so strange. I mean, I guess...
Would that be a bait? We could definitely get these 2 axes down. We could definitely do 9 damage to the... I think we could kill this Onager, and the question is the effort it takes as Axum, would we lose too much in response?
I think it's got to be worth. I think it's got to be worth it, right?
Yeah, I think that I agree. I think that was a misstep, because this archer alone, it's literally just an archer, and it can do 9 damage to that thing.
Yeah, without even leaving the safety of the city centre. And yeah, you could get a couple of Demets to clear up an Axeman, get another Demet in to hit the Onager, and then between a Demet and an archer, then you'd only need a slinger to do 1 damage to kill that Onager.
This, honestly, maybe you don't even use the archer, because this Demet with the engineering and the heckler promotion can do 19 damage to that.
What? That's amazing.
It's amazing. I wonder if it would have one-shot it if it weren't a zealot.
Oh, you're looking at the Shotel, I think, you rather than the Demit, but yeah, even so, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Engineer Heckler Commander Shotli is doing 19 damage to that onager.
Wild, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it feels like pushing in the south here and ignoring the north is the play, right?
Yep.
For Axum. This is
And
an
the thing is
opportunity.
actually, that's also a result, that a massive damage that you can do on that onager is actually a result of the fact that it's not on the hill. Because if we look at all the other guys who currently have Highlander, and on hills, the Shotalai would only do 14 damage.
Yeah. I think that has to be just a mistake, right? Why would you do that?
I think sometimes because this is a tile that is surrounded almost entirely by hills, and I think sometimes the way the terrain pans out, it can be difficult to miss if it's still a hill or flatland. But fun fact for those of you who don't know, at least in terms of natural map generation, Quarries, marble only ever spawns on flatland. So that would be an indication that you are on flatland if you're standing on a marble tile.
Yep, good tip. Alright, Axum's turn. Let's see what they want to do about this. They've got 32 orders to play with, which isn't actually a huge amount, considering they are going to have to move a lot of their units in. There's no road. It's a bit of a shame there's no road coming out of Matara here. The walls have finally come up, so if he did want to turtle and just try and withstand a bit of onager fire, then he has some time to do that. Yep, no trader workers to build roads. It's a bit of a shame, but he has he doesn't actually even have really that many workers at all in the area. Yeah, so even non-trader workers would be quite nice to get some roads. I guess he has this guy down here on the marble south of Matara, so we could build a couple of roads certainly. And I think if he was going to move in this turn, I would probably do that. I'd probably cancel the fort, get a couple of roads coming out of Matara, and then that would save him quite a lot of orders, I would imagine, on the march in. But is he going to? Is he going to march in? Well, he has to move his Byreme. Well, he doesn't have to move his Byreme because he's going to eat a 9 damage attack if he doesn't.
I just love his scout's position right now. It's just so perfect, the amount of information Rincewind has to deal with.
Yep, it's definitely, he's got good visibility on the area. Yeah, and of course he's got another one down in Array for Lenorum as well.
Yeah. If we compare it to, Carthage can only really see Matara and a little bit of Ektamara. So, I mean, that's just really nice. Unfortunate that things still aren't looking so hot for the Axumites in this position. Oh, we're going in.
Okay.
Right. There's going to be one dead axe. I think he must be aware of the fact that he can kill that onager in one hit. Well, two technically, but...
Yeah, maybe. Yes, we are using the Archer and the City to take out the Axeman. Okay.
And there we go.
19 damage.
And there we go.
So we just need a Slinger to finish that off. This massive overkill with the disarmed Slinger's doing 5 damage.
So great, though. So great.
Yeah, pretty nice. But I think that Shotlai is dead, though, right? I mean, the Onagers alone can do a decent amount of damage to that.
Alright, so definitely a potential route in the future, I think.
Yeah, of course he's got several African elephants. 4 damage each. And just the fact that it's not in forest, I think he can kill that Shotlai.
Yeah, he should be able to kill this axe, I think. Although, oh shit, he has no training for a force march. That's unfortunate. Could he kill this axe? Yes, I think he could kill this axe.
Yeah, real shame we didn't see some roads being built.
Not quite.
Yeah, what else can he do? He doesn't have the. He could. Oh, yeah, as you said, he doesn't have the force march. He could have killed it if he did, but I don't think so. Consider the fact the War Elephant started playing just as Fluffy mentioned about Chains and Omen. Oh, the War Elephant music, right. Yes.
Well,
beautiful.
I think what you do in the rest of the situation, I think you just let this hang where it is, and you move as much as you can from this back line up towards Matara. And the reason why I think that is because these 3 onagers are going to be able to get clear shots into the entire battlefield, which I think will entice him to try and go in for kills here, right? So we already moved up. We already exposed our units. I don't know that we get another kill, and even if we can get another kill, like on an axe, I'm not 100% sure it matters. So we, concede the fact that we're going to get hit with a bunch of onager fire and have an elephant or 2 come in and kill some or all of this stuff, but then we can hopefully counter, because axes and stuff are going to move up. So then hopefully we can counter with an even stronger counterattack after the fact.
Perhaps.
But the thing that's shitty, though, is that I really think in the position we're in, it's looking like Axum is going to have to fight the majority of this battle under 3 pretty solid onagers firing into them, and that's just not ideal.
Yeah, like the commander onager on the hill in the north is doing 14 damage to those slingers there. They're just going to absolutely
it's wild.
destroy.
And honestly, if that one could just come over here and get into the woods, because that had the ranger, it would do 18 damage to a slinger. Insane.
Horrible.
But it does look like we are moving up into position for the eventual counter, so I dig it. I think that's the best play you have here.
Carthage is similar to military power, but I guess there's not an awful lot in it. But they are still 1,500 to nearly 1,200, so probably Carthage will be stronger again by the time they finish their next turn. Alright, let's see what Carthage has got in them. So they lost an archer and an onager that round. Definitely not too bad of a round for Carthage. 40 orders to play with. Oh, is this the...
here we go, the first shot coming in.
Ishtar has just finished, by the way, so we've got six events. But we're not worrying about them because we are shooting.
Yeah, we're getting bombarded.
I'd really like to see that Shirtlite get killed. I think he will need to focus it down if he wants to.
I think he's going to get a massive... He's going to get a chonky chain. Chonky chain.
But of course, the African elephants are slightly awkward to use if you want to route, because you do need to be careful to not break your own route chain.
Yeah, that's always tricky.
Yeah,
I messed that up in my match because I forgot I couldn't tell the difference between an African elephant and a regular elephant, and I had both. So I went into route with a regular elephant, and I just broke the whole chain.
Awful. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so the archers are doing 2 or 3 to that Shirtlite. Elephants are mainly doing 4 or 5 now for one of them.
Woo! There we go.
We're routing him from the back line. That's quite nice, actually. Yeah, if he's going to push the Shirtlite back towards his other units. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
It'd be nice to see a unit move in to attack on this scrub land before the elephant pushes him away.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for that.
But yeah.
Stompy boys be stomping, everybody.
He's very dead. Right, so we've killed we've killed 2 slingers so far. Okay.
I'm going to be honest, and I haven't watched. I've seen some of Marauder's games, but not all of them. So full respect to Marauder here. I'm not making a comment on the way he plays whatsoever. But knowing where I landed when I got pushed to the lower bracket, I was fully expecting I would either bump into Mojo, who got eliminated, or then Rincewind, who eliminated Mojo. So if Axum can't hold here, it'll be interesting that my next opponent could be Marauder. Not who I was planning on fighting.
So the elephant didn't even need to push him back, so he has managed to get the route through it, and he's in a position to do the same again to do a Demet potentially. Yeah, he's in open land, so he has a few archers left. He could
I
definitely
think
stack
he
up
has
some more damage
the
there.
kill potential here.
Yeah, I can't imagine he doesn't, especially with an axe as well contributing. Still got plenty of orders left.
You know, I actually would probably want to see, might be a little overkill here, but I would be totally on board with Carthage rushing out, Civic rushing that onager from Carolus and just getting it into the fight, getting another one up and running.
Yep, that would certainly be nice. They have the civics. Why not? Oh, one more point of damage he needs before he can route that Demet.
Ooh,
We've got a slinger. Oh, in fact, we've got slingers from the south. I didn't even notice they were there. Yeah, there we go. That's the route.
There it is. Yep, Southern Slinger. Nice call. Nice call.
All right. And then we've got 5 damage. I'm guessing this Demet here is going to be harder to kill.
Yep. Now, what we could do is we could bring up a unit from the south here. Is that a Gaseta?
Yes, so. I'm pretty sure it is. Javelin and Caseta, yeah.
So we could do that. Oh, we pushed him deeper. I was going to say, push him out into the open, and then that makes him more vulnerable to range fire. But we could also zone of control lock him in place, actually. I like this instead. Get anything up to lock it.
Yeah, I mean that does. It looks pretty solid for Carthage. I think Axum is going to. They've got a few kill potential, but I assume these onagers are mostly safe, and they're going to just absolutely punish anything that comes up.
If we bring one of these backline axes into these woods above the Demet, it'll be locked in place, and we'll definitely die next turn.
Yep, that's definitely a good call. That would be worth doing. So looks like we're going for it. We've got a chariot moving up and a slinger. Upgrade into an archer, so we've got a couple new archers upgraded this turn.
Oh, and we did rush the... Nice, we rushed the onager. Love it.
Very good, very good.
Love it. I think that's definitely the right call.
Yeah, so Alcross has calculated he lost 11 strength and killed 22 strength. So a nice turn for Carthage.
Yep. So we start the battle with 2 kills for the Axumites, and the Carthaginians take 4 on the counter. Looking good, and they are in a strong position, I think. Strategically, these onagers are just going to be a nightmare to deal with. You don't want to fight this battle as Axum.
Yeah.
But you kind of also don't really have too much of a choice. I think as fun as it was to one-shot that onager, I think maybe retreating further would have been the play.
Yeah, probably.
Or forcing the fight into this open territory, like wait till somebody actually sends troops in. I don't know. It's tricky. Man, fighting around onagers is just so hard.
Yeah, for sure. You do not want to leave yourself exposed to mass onager fire.
Yeah.
And they are far enough in the back line that it's very tricky to actually go and kill them. Yeah, nice position for Carthage. I'm not sure what I would do here. I don't know, is the play to back off as Axum? It seems like it has to be, but on the other hand, yeah, horrible position to be in.
Yeah. Tricky. Well, here we are. It's the Axumite turn. So we will get a sense of what decision he's looking to make. We do have onagers of our own finally online, which would probably be... would probably be the reason to maybe back off here.
Oh, 2 onagers. I do apologise. Yes, 2 onagers up.
And that could create an opportunity to level the playing field here.
Yeah, it would be good to see. Has he just force marched that onager? Looks like he has, but maybe I'm just reading that wrong. It's got pips on it. Yeah, I think that onager is force marched. It'll be interesting to see what he does with that. Maybe put it in Matara would be a nice play. Yeah, he is backing that Demetov.
I think we have a forced march coming in. This onager is probably going to force march into Matara.
Yeah, I think that's...
There
there
it
we
is.
go.
Yep.
And we got the
Yep,
archer
you're
in the
right.
fort, so that's not terrible either.
That
So
definitely caused Carthage to think for a second.
well, I suppose he has at least killed the onager that was directly threatening the city, so he has bought himself a little bit of time with that. Yeah, I think ultimately that attack didn't really work out, and Axum would have been better off not doing it. But on the other hand,
yeah,
you've got to adapt. You can't just keep pushing even when it's not working. You've got to realise that you've failed and try something else, I suppose.
Yeah, I think he had an extra turn. He probably could have backed off, had an extra turn, and then still got this onager into the city.
Right, exactly. Because I mean, but Matara is on a hill, so he's always going to be able to return any onager fire here. It's got walls up. It's going to take a while to come down. I think you're right. I think waiting and waiting for Carthage to push in would have been better. Yep, he is leaving that fort empty, so the onagers can't hit anything at all now.
The real loss there was that we lose the big, beefy anti-siege Shotalai that we had.
Yeah, that is a shame. But, I mean, I guess he did his job.
Alright, doing some damage. We need more archers. Oh, we have no lumber. Oh, we're actually advancing to do a kill, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he can kill that African elephant for the cost of maybe a couple of slingers. It's probably alright. Staying out of onager range. If he can actually take the kill, he should be able to.
Well, certainly no point moving in if you can't kill it.
I imagine he's just working out the most efficient way to do that at the moment.
Yeah. Do we have any warriors lying around? Oh, no, we don't, because we don't have ironworking.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, we got foul next turn. You know what we can do? We can upgrade our warriors. No, we can't, because we don't have ironworking.
Yeah.
Oh, what a troll setup. That's so funny.
All right, African elephant is down.
All right, well, this is another handful of slingers that are probably dead. Well, I don't know. Maybe Carthage won't want to attack into onager fire.
Yeah, if I was Carthage, I'm not sure I would be advancing troops. Is it really worth it to kill a couple of onagers to expose yourselves to more deaths if none of your onagers can hit anything? I don't know. It depends how bold Carthage is feeling, I suppose. They're still similar strength, so they didn't manage to get stronger. Or at least they didn't stay that way. Maybe they were before that African elephant died. Let's have a quick look at the military graph. Yeah, both sides took a dip, but yep, Axum definitely took a bigger dip there. Definitely would not go into this going in and losing is a way to lose the game, says Elquest. I don't know that Carthage can lose the game even if they lose this fight at this point. Because they just have a huge amount of dominance over the map. If Carthage's entire army wipes, that they've got the economy to rebuild it. I think they'd be fine.
Yeah, it's a dubious proposition to come back from a position like this. Certainly, I wouldn't maybe go so far as to say it's entirely insurmountable, because, I mean, shit, you and I personally have been in fights where, I thought I had every advantage, and then Sure enough, you keep trucking along, and I lose one city, and then another city, and then I'm back to my capital, and it's like, how the hell did I lose this match? But it's very tricky. It's absolutely tricky. You have to be on your A game, and you can't make any mistakes.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure, of course, it's definitely possible to throw the game. It's just I think I guess what I'm saying is if Carthage loses this fight, I don't think that's the end of the game for them.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Whereas if Axum loses this fight, it probably is the end of the game for them.
Yes, yeah, and that's always an interesting thing to end up in conflicts like this, where often it feels like that's kind of like the what's in the balance, what between both players. Like one player, if they lose, well, they just regroup. The other player, if they lose, well, they've lost the game.
Yeah. So just looking at the VPs now, so Carthage is up to 32 out of 52, 20 more to win. They've got 2 wonders coming online. They are building the Zig and the Oracle. So yeah, they'll be down to 16 VP needed to win. They've still got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, they've still got 18 points left of wonders to build. So Carthage can just sit back and build every wonder and win this game at this point.
Yeah.
Do not
And they
don't need to take the fight to Axum.
And they 100% have the economy and the civics for it.
Yep. 12,000 money and 1,000 stone. Wild.
Yeah, and so that kind of brings back to what we were saying. It's like, does Carthage even need to aggress here? I think perhaps kind of what you were saying about the fact that if Carthage loses this fight, they don't lose the game. It's fine; they're still in. Maybe that's one of the values of taking the effort to aggress a little bit, is because then it forces your opponent off of doing things like worker turns, off of doing things like building up science and getting themselves into a position where maybe they actually could threaten you later on while you're trying to win the game off points. So basically, this battle, even if it doesn't win you the game explicitly, it does keep Axum busy, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's stopping your opponent from winning or getting closer to winning. Carthage doesn't really need to do anything else other than wait in order to win. And if they can keep Axum busy fighting and using all of their orders to shuffle their military around, then Carthage wins.
We have some aggressive positioning of that northern onager.
Yeah, love to see that. So he's kind of forced them to back off up there again. I mean, maybe Axum tries something up in the north, but yeah, I don't think it's realistic at this point to try and get in there. Maybe with some onagers of his own.
What I really like here is the fact that I really like the onager up here, in range of Axum, but then I like the other onager that's 2 tiles behind. That way, if anybody does try to come up and deal with this puzzle, they're all going to get blasted by another onager. I think Marauder's really doing a good job. I failed at this miserably in my game, but I think he's doing really good a job of onager positioning and make sure that A, they're not close together, so they're in routing range, but B, they're always providing coverage on each other.
Yeah, that's absolutely the strength of the massive strength of onagers and why I love them so much. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Marauder is doing a great job of utilising them to good effect for that purpose. So interestingly, the units in the south in the forest have backed off a bit. So he's definitely falling back a bit there. He's giving Axum, I would say, a bit of an opening to come into the forest if he wanted to. Not that would necessarily be a good idea, but it's an option to get in the forest now. It has been unfortunate for both nations with the lack of elephants. Yeah. Yes, of course, both nations have Lancon now, right? I think that's correct. No, Axum still doesn't have land consolidation.
Yeah, Axum doesn't have it. Axum is a ways away.
Axum cannot
build
elephants.
Yeah,
of course, Axum don't have... There is an elephant on the map right in the bottom here, by the Atlas Mountains.
Yes. All right, so I did catch that after the fact, but no one has access to it.
Yeah, it's true. But yes, no riders for Axum, so yes, that wouldn't really necessarily help them very much. So yeah, nice bit of pressure from Carthage up in the north here. Just steadily forcing Axum back. I wonder how much further they can realistically advance. He only needs to get one tile further to be in range of Edgemara. And Edgemara's on the flat, so if Axum sets up their onager in the city, then they can still fire on that city without being in range. Although they would have to leave that onager exposed or advance other units to be exposed. So not necessarily the easiest option. Of course, there is that onager in Matara, so I suppose that's why Carthage has backed off in the forest to get out of onager range. What are we seeing being built in Carthage? We've got an onager, we've got some specialists, we've got an axe. His statesman seat is working on decrees. We've got an elephant. So we've got definitely a mix of military and economic build-up here. But yeah, I'd suggest to me that Carthage isn't looking to go all in on an attack, and they are just enjoying pressuring their opponent while they econ up. Carthage are up to
I feel like Marauder ended up in a similar position in his last game, where he gobbled up a lot of the map quickly at Carthage. I think fought a skirmish or two, and then was just like, he just built his nation up. If you can force, I guess in one way, that's one way to do it. If you can force your opponent into a pressured position, you can just kind of sit back and play a single-player game and win it out.
Indeed. So Carthage has just taken the science lead. They have got to 96 science this turn to Axum's 93, so they are tacking up again. Axum are taking the goods boost very sensibly because they desperately need those resources. What have we got being built in Axum? We've got Shotlai, Demut, Onager, Archer. Yeah, Axum is definitely more military heavy in their builds. They're feeling the pressure. Feeling a bit of existential threat from the Carthaginian advances. Whereas Carthage is just chilling.
I'd be curious to see what decision gets made here with this onager pressuring on this hill by the volcano.
What happened to the the onager is on the range way back in the back line. Not that it really matters with the sea movement. It can get it forward quickly enough. I would imagine Axum just has to back off, right? And just let that onager do what it wants to.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the other tricky part of this puzzle, to me, is, okay, fighting your opponent with onagers sucks, but then finally you get your own onagers, which is great, but then it's like, you run into the situation where it's like, because of the unlimber thing, it's like, you can't really get in range to attack an onager with an onager if they're already unlimbered.
Yes, there's a bit of a timing consideration there, definitely. You want to get your onagers in place where you want them before your enemy actually gets to where they want to be, ideally. So we are taking a couple of archer attacks on the axe there. I think that makes sense. They are out of range of the onager, so you might as well pressure reasonably safely there.
I just love this game so much because I think there's so much about it. I mean, the economy and the opinion and all this stuff that, in the game is all fantastic. But even outside of that, just the battling, the tactics of this game, everything ends up being a puzzle. And it's just so satisfying the way that, and we've been seeing so many different scenarios shown off in the tournament where it's like someone has onagers and someone doesn't. Both players have onagers, but timing or positioning matters, or someone doesn't have any range units, or someone doesn't have any, routing units, and all these different combinations of the different things in between. And it's just so satisfying watching people play this game because every combat is like this amazing puzzle where you have to figure out how you can solve it with what you have compared to what your opponent has.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely one of the things I love about this game as well. It's there's such a high skill ceiling in terms of the different potential situations you can get in and obviously there's a huge amount of economic build-up that even gets into setting up these tactical situations. But then once you're there, the tactical situation is as you say, it's an awesome puzzle. And these
in a way,
volcanoes have been amazing as well. Yeah, Alcross was pointing out they're making a huge difference. Both the volcanoes in the sea blocking that off, then the volcanoes here shielding the ranged attacks. Just yeah.
I have to say, this is actually a really interesting map overall. I think sometimes the coastal rain basins can feel a little bland. They're just kind of like a flat plane across from one player to the other. But I really like how this central region, which Carthage owns all of now at this point, but is kind of like its own little basin that's kind of interconnected from each, disconnected from each half of the map that the players could control. And yeah, these volcanoes are interesting. The hills are interesting. There's a lot of cool features in here.
Yeah, it is a cool map indeed. Speaking of cool maps, there is something very cool coming in the next update, which just got added today, which I'm quite excited about.
A little preview.
Yeah, so we are introducing a new mirror map option where instead of mirroring down the center line, the map gets mirrored entirely spreading out from the center point, which creates kind of diagonally mirrored maps, they just look amazing. I'm very excited to see them. I imagine they will not see much play in this tournament because possibly it's going to be mostly done by the time we get them, but I think it would be very cool to have one maybe in one of the last games of the tournament because they're so interesting. They're very different. Especially like when you've got interesting geography like the inland sea, instead of kind of a nice regular inland sea, it creates very different layout. I think it's very cool.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hopping on and checking them out and see what they see the configurations. And my dream on that note is I'd love to see Bay. If someone can figure out how to get a Bay map to be mirrored, that would just be delightful.
Interesting, yeah. Yes, one of the so it's only set up for a limited selection of map types at the moment, and one of which is desert, which is perhaps not something you'd immediately think of as a good mirror map option. But the way it works is you've got coast on both sides and the strip of land with desert at polar ends, and then a bit of habitable land in the middle. I think it looks amazing. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I hope the next time we do a tournament we get more. We can see more map variety. They definitely understand the thinking behind the choices that we were given, and also like even the Highland map was changed to be a little bit larger, and I think that will allow that to be an option because the dual Highland map was a little too small. But I think it's fixed to that. We can probably add that into the roster next time.
Yeah, it's bigger than it used to be, and of course you can just always increase the map size. You don't have to play on the dual or even the tiny maps, but it's better than it was, and yeah, definitely some more maps would be interesting. But as you were just saying, we've got a lot of variation just with the free map scripts, with the different configurations it can be laid out in. So yeah, seeing some more would be awesome.
So it does look like Axum chose to take some pot shots at some axes, which I found interesting because you didn't really get a kill there.
Yeah, just in the north, but those archers are safe, of course, because they can't be hit by the onager. So
that's why I did that. Yeah, that's neat. That's clever.
Yeah, it's the volcano blocking it. So the players are saying this is going to be the last turn. So we'll be going into a part 3 indeed. I'm not sure when that will happen, but definitely something to look forward to. Obviously, neither side is ready to call it yet. Interesting that Carthage onager is backing off. He could have taken an attack. Could have taken a 10 damage attack on an onager and splashed the city as well. He has decided not to. I suppose, of course, we have the onager and Echmara threatening the two axes now, so I guess that is the reason he's backing off.
Yeah, I think another thing that would probably make sense this being declared the final turn, maybe you don't want to do something that's tactically intense that you're going to have to jump right back into a week from now. So maybe the thinking there of the back off was I'll get myself into a nice tactically defensive position. That way I don't have to figure out my way through some weird battle a week from now.
Yeah, maybe so, maybe so. But it does look like Carthage is happy, at least for the moment, to sit back and say, "All right, fair enough. I've hassled you a bit. You've got onagers now. Let's call it a truce."
Yeah, let's call it a truce. Which is funny because that's exactly how the first session ended. They skirmished a bit, and then they literally said to each other in the chat, they're like, "Oh, let's call a truce," and they did.
Yeah.
So they slap each other around a little bit, and then they're like, "Okay, never mind, my bad." That's kind of funny.
Ebb of flow, and it's interesting actually, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, with the, you're saying they're potentially backing off because they're ending a session. They don't want to go into the next session in a hot war. So the fact that they are playing it in parts like this rather than one long session does change the dynamic of the game somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what happened in my Aaron game. Like, apart from the fact that my first attack in the initial session was abysmal, as soon as we were like getting to the end of like, oh, it's we're gonna wind it down. I mean, at that point, I was like, well, this is already not going well, but of course I'm gonna full retreat because I don't want to have to wait a week to end up in whatever shithole I put myself in and try to figure it out a week from now. So yeah, sometimes I think that is interesting how breaking into a session can change the dynamic just a little bit.
So we have finished the camel supply in Array Felinorum, and we're starting on a camel archer, 7-turn camel archer, which is, I don't know what really the thinking is there, other than the fact that he can build them, given that he hasn't seen any cavalry on Axel side whatsoever. But I guess they're always helpful units to have with their high mobility and adding a little bit of plink damage. We are up to 105 science a turn. It's looking very pleasant indeed. Hydraulics in 2 turns. That compares to 92
I think that'll be
science
the
on the
breaking
Axel
point.
side.
I think hydraulics in 2 turns, and then you just rush out 3 ballistas, and just again, you don't really have to attack. I guess
Yeah.
that's the weird thing for Carthage. He doesn't need to attack, but again, I would rush out a. But maybe that's how. Again, maybe sometimes that's how I throw games. I guess maybe I go to attack when it's like, do you really need to? And it's like, no, but I want to. I want to. I want to fight a battle.
Yeah. But again, it's I don't know. It depends how far you push it, right? I think that the
Yeah.
poking and the very cautious, trying not to lose units here, though, is a good play in that it keeps Axum busy, and it keeps Axum not
Yeah.
actually attacking your cities.
Exactly. Yeah. Ballistas will. I definitely. That's the other thing. Even if he doesn't go attack, once you put 2 or 3 ballistas in this region, there's just no way Axum is going to break into that. Their main advantage is the show to lie, their own onagers, and the ballista will just shred show to lies. Unfortunately.
Yeah, ballistas would be very good indeed.
And
So Alcross was just asking about the leaders. So we've got a 59-year-old intelligent, frugal, vigilant king in Axum. So vigilant, also helpful for a bit of city defence. Not that he's really needed it so far. 59 is a little bit old and he has no heir. So, oh sorry, I'm looking at Carthage at the moment. Hang on, let's switch back to Axum. He does have an heir. He has a 32-year-old Heckler Commander heir, which is going to be quite pleasant, I imagine, plus a 1-year-old grandson. Carthage still does not have any heirs at all, and they have got a 47-year-old prosperous strict Pathfinder judge. Pathfinder obviously fantastic, given all of their nets, just boosting that up even more. But yeah, the lack of any kids is potentially going to be a bit of an issue for Carthage. Depends what they randomly roll into. We shall see. Yeah, Commander would be very good for a standoff indeed. Get a lot of XP on their units. Definitely does not hurt at all. Yes, Carthage probably will get some adoption events at some point. I don't know. The Queen could be infertile. I don't know. I would guess by the fact that they haven't actually had any kids, and I think the Queen has been around for a while. See, they got married on turn 45, so yeah, 23 years they've been married with no kids, which is real unfortunate, I guess. But yeah, probably is infertile. Is it still around in competitive mode? It is indeed, yes, there is no restriction on infertility in competitive mode.
All right, Fluffy, I am going to take off and let you close out the stream. Our players are ending here, so thanks for having me on, and everybody, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. So I'll see you around, Fluffy Bunny.
Yep, thanks for joining us, son. See you later. All right, well, we are done for today, but thank you all for watching. It's been a good time, and yeah, hope to see you for the next stream of this, whenever it should be. And yeah, we'll be back with the Mohawk stream, most likely in its regular slot next week at 8 PM GMT on Thursday. And yeah, until then, have a great Thanksgiving if you are celebrating it, or just a great lead up to the weekend and then weekend if not. But until next time, see you later.